believe it's going to be NIP at the last game of the day. Now, that will be brought to you by different people. So let's explain, shall we? First, some introductions. I am your host, Alex Machine Richardson. This is the CS Money pre-show, and we are not joined by anyone short of legends. Henry Greer and Chad Birchall in the house.
You're too kind.
Oh, my goodness.
Or short in general. We're quite tall.
I think we're above average.
For esports people.
Or humans, even.
In general.
Yeah. I'd say so.
And we're calling ourselves the Lanshan Boys. Is that the official name? I saw that graphic come out.
It's our brand now, Henry. Just saying.
I feel like we can come up with something better than the Lanshan Boys.
How would you spin it?
I'll come back to you by tomorrow, but I'm not happy with that right now.
That's totally fair enough. But we are here to kind of maybe explain how this show is going to be brought to you. You've seen so much and consumed so much Counter-Strike in a very similar way. We, however, are doing things a bit differently with the resources we have, Chad.
Yeah, well, you're still kind of doing the hosting thing.
This is what I'm used to. I've done this a bit.
But you're also going to be casting, right? Yeah. And we're going to get Henry on the desk and me on the desk, but we're going to be doing this as a group. I'll still be doing, like, jumping into the in-depth stuff at the telestrator, doing the skybox bits and pieces. We're just going to try and offer a show where we can all be contributing throughout.
I suppose it'll be a little bit more conversational, especially in the earlier games as well, talking about the strategies and their approaches and what we think about these teams. And obviously we'll crank things up when the games get a little bit more exciting and closer and right down to the wire. But I think it's going to be a nice kind of experiment almost to see how this works together. We know we work as a three. That bunch has been proven so far.
Sure.
We've seen it time and time again. It's worked out for us. But I feel together we could bring together something quite terrific.
I just think it's going to definitely feel different. And another big contributing factor as to why it's going to feel different, if you haven't caught the news already, is that this was originally, of course, supposed to be played in a LAN environment. However, the teams are going to be competing from their own organizational boot camps or from their own homes due to the current global health epidemic. And therefore, we are going to be, changing this show on the fly. Expect it to look a little rougher around the edges at times, but the same Counter-Strike, the same players, and us shouting our heads off about the good
Maybe
games.
it's some flashier plays.
You
never know, actually. Chad?
Yeah, online, look, I'm not going to lie, they take a few more risks, right?
Yeah.
So we are going to be diving into that. We might see a little bit sloppier Counter-Strike, but we might see more exciting Counter-Strike if people are happy to play throwing caution to the wind.
Now, we're one trio, and the other trio is, of course, going to be none other than just Harry, Hugo, and Mr. Trace.
The Goonies.
The Goonies.
Trace and the Goonies, I think is the official...
Just the Goonies.
I don't even know how many people watching have seen the Goonies.
Yeah.
It's a good question. But we're not alone, of course. We also have more stars of the show we're going to be showing you a bit more about. One of them is the Observer Rushley. We play a lot of Counter-Strike with him.
Hello.
There he is.
How you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Hey, love. Yeah.
How are you?
You feeling good?
Yeah, feeling okay. Feeling fresh, ready to go.
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Is that a new skin routine we're working on?
Yeah, I have this like under eye mask.
cream.
Yeah, under eye cream.
That. Okay, nice. I think I recommended that to you before you said you travelled with a toothbrush and a can of Lynx Africa. Now you've actually got yourself a facial routine. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on camera. I need to look good for everybody.
Amazing.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're fed and watered and you're ready to provide all that observing stuff. We'll hang out with you in a bit, Rush.
All right. See you guys in a bit.
See you soon. So that's, of course, Rushley, and we're going to be seeing more from him as he's going to be doing the lion's share of the observing.
He's the fourth man.
The fourth man
of the
Lanshan.
Yeah. Well, we want to bring him into the Lanshan. That's the thing. It's just hard to get him out of his current contract,
Yeah. A quick reminder, of course, hot matches. I said already, Astralis are playing, but there will be a hot match every single day. The
Piping hot.
Piping hot match. And for that one, you can see Astralis are at the tippy top of Group A, and their first opponent today will be that of NIP. You'll get to see the new Ninjas in their first foray here at the Pro League.
Group A is an interesting one, Alex. You can see plenty of big names there, most notably at Astralis at the very top. My favorite was going to be Godsend. Moving on to Group B. However, Chad, who jumps off the page for you?
Yeah,
who have you got for me?
Looking here over towards Group B, Henry, it has to be Na'Vi. They just won IEM Katowice. Simple, looking fantastic. There's other notable names in this one here. Obviously, Fnatic as well, a name who they had 78 days off before Katowice. They're back into the fray. Complexity with some big upsets over there in London. And we've even got Big joining us here. It's good to have some German representation.
Yeah, it's a very good point. We haven't seen them play for a while. They've kind of been off our radar, but they've gone for a more German-focused squad now, the likes of Xanteras and Na'Vi, of course, looking tremendous right now.
What did you make of Perfecto?
Oh, do you know what? For me, he's their clutch player, right? That's the only role he has to fill in right now, and he's delivering with it. He's got all the other firepower around him. He doesn't need the most amount of frags, but if he's winning those 1v3s, those 1v2s consistently, that's enough to get you over the finish line. I think he brings enough skill, and he listens. He hasn't got an ego. He's done what he's told, and that's everything you need out of a player.
Yep. And I think if we heard Electronic after they had just won, look, he's getting frustrated here.
He's like, go on.
After they had just won.
That's right. They won the round.
They dismantled Astralis, right? They absolutely owned. They won the whole tournament in a breeze. And then afterwards, on the couch with Trace, Trace. Electronic sitting there. He's quite quiet. Trace asks him, how do you feel? He goes, oh, I'm disappointed in my performance. You just won the tournament, mate. So,
right.
That's good, though. That's some killer instinct right there.
Disaster for Electronic in his mind, and disaster starts with D. Why don't you break down D for us, Mr. G?
Okay, so we got Group D here. My favorite team in this group has to be FaZe Clan. They've been on such an amazing upward trajectory, but G2 especially, though, they have looked fantastic. The new additions, the international squad, no one really thought it was going to come together, but my God, has it ever. Over at Katowice, yes, they got dumpstered by Na'Vi, 0-3 in the grand final, but that doesn't matter. It was a statement performance from themselves. They looked fantastic. Kenny S, once again, he's not like he's back to the old Kenny S. He's reborn. He's got a new playstyle. It's powerful and it's exciting. G2 are a dangerous team, and they're going to be well within the top 5 at the end of this year.
Yeah, I'm impressed with how they've gotten over these language issues and performing to this level, right? I thought having Jax as the weak link, obviously for those who aren't aware, Aminet, Kenny, and that of Jax are all native speakers. They're all French, right? So for them to now have to play with Nexa and Hunter and speak English, I thought this was going to be a bit of an issue, but they seem to have performed above and beyond my expectations.
And the US side of things, we have put all of the North American eggs into one basket and called it Group C.
Yeah, it's very important here with the TBD to know, based on the current situation that's going on around the globe, we will be filling that slot with a team. As soon as we can, we will let you know. However, there's big names in this group. Even though these guys will just be playing within that North American region, we still have Evil Geniuses, Team Liquid, and 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
100 Thieves are the boys. Obviously, everybody knows with my accent right now, I'm a little bit biased towards the Australians. I used to play with them. I had a great time with these guys, but the Counter-Strike that they were playing at the start of this year, not fantastic.
Sure.
The Counter-Strike that they started to play towards the tail end of Katowice, much better. So I'm quite happy with what they were able to achieve in Katowice. I think it changed their mentality. It shifted it all around. So I'm interested to see how they do over in that North American region when we have that side of things going down.
Yeah, and we'll focus, of course, now on those groups in a little more detail. I'm looking forward to seeing if the 100 Thieves can continue to compete versus what seems to be a bit of a shaky
stacked
EG, and I mean a Liquid that have been looking to get back on their feet. So
Yeah.
this is prime time for 100 Thieves to potentially, try and take that the throne that's at the moment up for contention.
It's definitely up for debate in North America right now. Obviously, we have teams over in that part of the world who live there who are not North Americans, right?
Sure.
But to necessarily get that title of the best team in that region, it's still worth something.
It certainly is. Group A, though, is where we set our sights now because it is, of course, the game of the day, and all of the teams competing today housed within Group A. So let's focus our attention on them. Now, Vitality was the one at the tip of your tongue. I want you to explain a little bit as to why. This new addition, they've just lost their in-game leader. I mean, this feels like a team in disarray.
It absolutely is. It's a very confusing move from Vitality. No one saw it coming, to be honest. It was a disappointing Katowice for them, but no one thought that the foundations, the rock of the team, Alex, to be the one to leave. Definitely have been a frustrating time for French Counter-Strike over the last few years, but this was the one shining light, the last standing guard of the French squads there.
Yeah.
And now they've lost Alex. It's really difficult to understand where they're going forward with this team.
He was in their top 3 performers, right, within this squad. When you look at this team in terms of impact, Zywoo, obviously, the best player in the world of 2019, but Alex on your squad, and RPK, I would say, they would have some games where they would just put in hauls, and that would make Vitality look dangerous.
Yeah.
But Alex, look, for those people who missed it, maybe you did. Alex has cited burnout, right? The travel schedule of Counter-Strike, which ironically is not happening right now, as to why he was stepping down from the team. But I consider that timing quite strange. I think there's probably more to the story that we don't know, but I don't want to speculate because, I don't know the inner workings.
No one just says straight after a tournament,
I'm
I'm
out.
done. Just before some of the biggest leagues in the world commence, I'm just doing that. So it is the chap called Misuta coming in to replace him. 17 years old. A lot of French fans and pundits are saying he's a big deal. I'm not so sure.
So there was a video that came out of him, got retweeted. It was very popular. He was playing some pugs, and he looked mechanically as a very skilled individual. I think this could be another Rops situation. Okay. Remember Rops when we saw him he was getting called a cheater and everything, and then he got put into mouse sports. I remember that Pro League season. We sat there the entire time. When I was doing it, I was just watching Rops cam. And right now, I think this kid coming in, I want to do the same thing. I want to see mechanically how he fits in and then how he works as a team player, because we know that's the biggest element, right? If you can pop heads, that's great. But how do you fit into a team?
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, talking of fitting into a team, how do you fit into an organization with a name as big as NIP? Another valid question, because this is not the ninjas that you know. It's young Swedish talent, and I'm not sure where to put them yet.
I think this is what everyone's been hoping for NIP for the longest time, because if you look back at the organization, historically, they've had the old boys, they've had the old guard, they've had the likes of Forrest, Freiburg, Get Right, for example, and now finally shifting away from that mentality and opting for young Swedish stars, which is something they've always missed out on on historically. They've never been part of the transfers. It's always been Fnatic or Godsend to get the new upcoming young players. But now with the likes of Plopsky coming in, it's actually exciting to see the most come out of Rez. Lekro's looking like a decent individual finally, once again, after 3 years of being MIA. I don't think this is going to be a world-class team. I don't see them breaking near the top 5. But if they're consistently hovering around the top 10, I think that's enough for what I expect from them, at least so far.
Yeah, I would like to see, well, no, not what I would like to see. I think that having Threat in the team now with no more of the old guard, right? Because Threat in 1.6 played with Forest and Get Right, right?
Sure.
Like in the server, he was against them. He knows them for all these years. And I'm not saying that they wouldn't have respected what he would say, but I would just hazard a guess that all these youngsters, Nork, Plopsky, Rez, all these names with Threat there as the coach, they're going to be a lot more malleable. So now Threat can build a team from the baseline up, not like Swedish Counter-Strike that we're used to, just brawling in everyone's face. I think that he can actually build a unit.
Yeah, and actually perfect, because speaking of Threat, we actually had a fantastic little extra insight. Trace asked him a question over in Katowice, and let's see what he thought of the new Dignitas roster.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, picking up both Plopsky and Nock, two younger, like really talented players that haven't really been around the scene for that long. There's so much potential in them. And as I said, he played really, really well this tournament. And that's going up against Saiwu and Simple playing the op at IM Katowice. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, we're going to run some of that Simple footage, and I'm sure you guys have gone back already and watched it, so it shouldn't be of anything too shell-shocking around here. Overall, I mean, that brings up a very interesting point. He names players like Get Right. What do you guys think of the new Dignitas? Oof, got him on that one. I got him on that one, but I got to know.
Okay, I have to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I like those guys. I want them to perform well. I want to be wrong, but like my gut feeling and everything tells me they won't be as successful as they think they will be.
Jacob, what do you think about that?
I mean, it makes sense. It's players who's been around for forever, right? And to find that motivation again in order to rebuild the team and start from the ground, it takes a lot of effort, and you got to be willing to put in that effort. And if you don't do it 100%, you don't really get buy-in in modern days of Counter-Strike just by doing things 90 and 95%. So I can definitely see where you're coming from.
Okay. So we got to hear Threat, of course, coach of the old team. He's crossing his fingers and toes for them, but an absence of belief just yet. I have belief in my fancy new slidey wall because this is where we're going to, over the course of the couple of weeks, the following weeks and months, in fact, that this Pro League is going down in this studio. This is our quarantine. We're going to be hanging out here. And for now, this is going to slowly grow with notes. I've got an example here where we can continue to come back to. This is a really cool original design that I think...
Does that mean sniper? Top sniper?
Yes, you're right. In fact, I should put it next to Mr. Zaiwu.
Yeah,
so
that's
for
perfect.
now, in this group and the games we're about to see, we've got a couple of opinions to quickly summarize our thoughts coming into the day. We've got, obviously, player to watch, Misuta. We were talking about him before, Vitality's young gun. And calling him a new Rops. In fact, I might have to get the pen out again, Chad.
Yeah, it was early, wasn't it?
Henry, would you mind?
That's the first one? Okay,
Grab a pen and make that happen.
Let's
in the meantime, though, 200 IQ in-game leader. We'll keep our eyes on Glaive because he seemed a bit shaken, right? He seemed a bit thrown off by some of the... Precisely. Veins popping out of body parts I don't have. Playmaker, of course, keep our eye on Device as well, because this guy has had more consistency than any other player in competitive Counter-Strike, certainly at that level. And the reason that Vertigo's here is because it's a map that we've seen an awful lot of in group stages. Those early brawly games, a lot of teams are using that as their avenue for assault against the big names. And so you got it? Right.
Coming over.
You want to come hang out? I'll take it over. I think I've got to be the
Are you going to be the one doing it?
I've got a long cable, you see.
I hate the fact that I've already said something that could be like really contentious already.
That's the Chad Sponge Birchall. Chad, you can hang out up here for now.
Okay.
Lower.
A little lower? How's this?
There we go. That's
there you go.
That works. Okay. Cool. The first one.
Really should be next to
So
this
who's the guy? Who's the sniper?
Well, the sniper
Have
of
I
the
heard
team.
of him before?
Chad, thanks for holding my hand through all this. Appreciate that.
No worries.
He's right. This guy, appreciate it, buddy. This guy's called Zaiwu. You may have heard of him. And actually, for now, I think we should remind ourselves of why we've got Top Orper next to his name.
Is this a video?
We can check in, man.
We talking? Here we go. Are we talking over this, Chad? What do you reckon?
Look, we are going to talk over this because this is Zaiwu, the best player in the world in 2019. Now,
I wouldn't say any more, just to put that out there.
Look, now, if we want to talk about rankings of individuals, we could go super deep on that. In my mind, Simple is the best player to ever touch the video game. But statistically speaking, there can't really be too much of an argument that Zaiwu's impact in tournaments last year was more than Simple's, right? Simple was changing roles, different rosters, bigger tournaments, Vitality were winning more stuff. But yeah, I think that Zaiwu as an individual, he's obviously the hard carry for this team.
Context is very important, though, and I feel like the fact that Na'Vi are now winning trophies, you're going to see that shift, and people's opinions change very quickly.
Yeah, I hope so. so.
Yeah, no, and I think this whole show will shift rather quickly into game because we are going to be taking a quick break. When we do come back, we're jumping into our first game, ENCE-vs-SPIRIT, coming live in our first day of ESL Pro League Season 11.
Love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
He wasn't the classic nerdy computer kid in school. He was one of the ones to get a girlfriend first and a very social person.
Typical for Finn is that he is very determined.
Ist egal, ob es jetzt beim Kartenspielen ist oder beim Tischtennis oder beim Computer, er gibt nicht auf.
What he really wants is to win a major. It's his dream, and therefore it's also my dream for him to get that.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Take what's rightfully yours with GG.bet.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
I was running road so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. This is such a ghostly revelation. I may have fucked up all my chances. It's easy, it's hard to preach, cause I've been burning trees and watching fall. If we cannot breathe out, we go forward. Sure, I was searching for cure, fishing a little wildlife, and when I'm low on fuel, I'll still be running till my back broke. Halfway, lost hope and I checked it. Hard roads, I didn't think I'd come back fast, cause I was running roads so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I ended up seeing red. out the road and you won't even get it. Been around the globe, looked around, not to fit it. Seen high and lows, but you won't even get it. Been around the globe, think it's time to admit it's not the end, but the road. I was running.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, Air Force, GG-Bet, and ESEA.
Good evening, Counter-Strike fans. It's time for ENCE versus Team Spirit. Our very first game of our very first day. Head-to-head, it hasn't gone well for Spirit historically. However, will we see the faithful Finns clash versus the rampant Russians today, or will we see Spirit fall flat? A bit of a new addition to the Pro League. We didn't have too much time to, of course, actually take a look at what we can expect from them. But the names on paper are actually quite exciting.
The names on paper certainly are exciting. In terms of Team Spirit, they have got some heavy hitters within their ranks. Household names at this point. Played in majors. We're talking the likes of Chopper, Sumdai Young, iDisbalance. These are big name players with big fragging behind them. ENCE, of course, have also got a great team behind them as well. But Chad, it hasn't looked good for ENCE whatsoever in the last few months. They've kind of fallen apart at the seams, as it were. It's not looking too great for them.
This team last year at this time was considered one of the world's best. Right? This team with Alexi B as the in-game leader. We won't get stuck into that too much. This is the new roster we have on screen, but they have fallen a very, very long way from here. Now, in recent history, things have not been looking very good. I think the last series they won was against Ago, not a team that we're often talking about at this level of Counter-Strike. But they have had one map that they've been doing all right on. Dust 2. They've picked up wins against Ago, FaZe, G2, and Mouse. Right? They're on a 4-map winning streak on Dust 2. So for these guys right here, it's been a map which they've shown some promise.
And that map is one you've got loaded up on the telestrator, I assume, for your magical reasons.
Yeah, I'm going to head on over. And what I want to show you guys here is just the CT setup, the CT hold right here for this squad, right? So they play a lot of spawn-based Counter-Strike. We got Ariel and old mate Sergey. Whoever gets the good spawn will go play over towards long. Ali with the AWP being very flexible. X7 over towards the B-bomb site. And then Sunny, sometimes he's over towards B, sometimes he's over towards A. Yeah, but what I want to show you guys here is one of these gambles, one of these strategies. We're going to show Skybox just for you for a second. Check this out. This is against FaZe. Now, they're going to do a gun round here where they do 5 players A. We're about to see it once they get it playing, that there'll be a smoke towards mid doors, and they're going to boost everybody up catwalk. So we've got Sunny going towards long.
And this is a gun round, right,
This is a full gun round. So if you can see this right here, they're about to stifle this fast A split that FaZe are running here with all this aggression. So they've got 3 players on cat. They've also got another player who's up in the bomb site who's now coming to help. So they're going to have 4 players short to stop this push. And X7 was in transition towards middle, and he can now help from CT spawn. So interesting play here from ENCE.
I think that's the way you have to play Dust 2 right now. It's very interesting to see how the map's developing. It's a very spawn-based affair, lots of long takes and mid to B splits. If you stack towards short, you can shut down that potential towards middle and, of course, react to the long take as well. So it does make sense. It's cool.
It's important, of course, to know which map it's going to be. We don't have the vetoes yet, but just to kind of add some more theory into this one. If you're Team Spirit, you're going up against a much easier to prepare for team. I mean, are you expecting any maps in that regard? A Vertigo, for example, is that something that we won't get banned out immediately?
Look, I don't think we will see Vertigo. I don't think ENCE are a big fan of the Vertigos. So it's most likely that we will see Team Spirit stick to the safer maps, the Mirages, the Infernos.
Infernos, where these players do especially well. Very aggressive squad within Team Spirit. Their CT side, it's when you'll see the AWPs pushing a lot and actually trying to get stuck in. They play a very aggressive and stifling style of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, so I don't think we will get that Vertigo as the key map of this. When we get to the NIPs and the Astraluses of the world and Vitality coming in, then I would say that we will be seeing a bit more of the Vertigos of the world here. But ENCE's pick, this is a curious one, right? Because, so we got the bands coming on through now. We got Overpass, and then I assume it's going to be Vertigo. There we go. So they've gone for an Inferno, and that means that ENCE will get started on the CT side. Train, historically, a very, very good map for ENCE, right? But because of their T-sides not being good, Dust 2's gone. The map I highlighted, don't even get a chance to see it.
We don't get to see it.
Well, maybe later.
Well,
okay.
Alex, how do we do this? Because we're not throwing to casters necessarily.
We are the casters.
The music is there. Do you want to set us up? Do you want to kind of give it a go?
Yeah,
do something.
okay.
Give us a scene.
It's time to get the ESL Pro League's 11th season underway. Against adversity, they rise like a phoenix from the ashes. A tattooed British man with some issues, an Australian man with some issues, and a British brown boy who's going to try his best not to swear on air. Let's get this pie started. It's ENCE versus Team Spirit to kick off the Pro League.
All right then, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be Mirage, the battlefield that will take place between these two epic teams.
Sorry, Henry, I know we're getting excited. I know we're getting excited. I'm going to have to reel back in the hype here. Inferno.
It is, isn't
now,
it?
it's a different looking Inferno.
I did see that. I was like, maybe they got the veto wrong. Maybe they got the veto wrong. I'm just going to go with it. It's Inferno, ladies and gentlemen, as we expected. And starting on the CT side here. Remember, we said Team Spirit. This is their specialty map, in my opinion. I've casted these players a lot over the years, and it's always towards a B side of the map. Super aggressive, the AWP, trying to get stuck in. Want to see more from the young boy Magics as well as we get into this first pistol round. 2 smokes, Molotov suggests to me, Chad, that's going to be a full B execution eventually.
Yeah, and because you've gotten banana control for free like this, it means that you haven't given away your game plan. But Sergey's aggressive position towards Boiler means that they might know the jig is up a little bit early here. The 2 players over towards Arch that we can see will be able to get an early rotation in. And I think that Sunny's job is just to spot and stay alive. If he overcommits here, that's the bomb site given up for free, and then it will be a full-on retake scenario. But as you notice there on the bottom left, Ariel does have some nades of his own for that retake.
He certainly does. It's all very quiet right now. They have got full B control on the banana side of the map. Here's the first smoke towards CT spawn as well. Flashes to go over. Molotov presumably towards new boxes, which it goes through. Flashes over now. Alex, it's your time to shine. It's the commitment. It's the play-by-play moment. What have you got for us?
Absolutely nothing at the moment, Hank, because the bomb will go down. They'll spread them, creep around the site and tuck themselves into all of those nooks and crannies. And so a 10-man retake. All hearts still beating in the server. A lot of aggression coming in from both parties at the same time. Sunny's going to get more than he bargains for here if he continues to advance. Does have the kit, so keep your eyes on that. Tags and chips away at Chopper. 3 more dueling. Sunny finds the first. Back and forth.
I like this approach with 3 players towards Ruins as well. You can see how overwhelming this is. Team Spirit making sure that's just completely locked out there. Sergey with no real chance of winning the round, but maybe he can get a couple of kills and keep hold of his armor. A little bit boring to save in the pistol rounds, but it saves you $650 going forward, which it looks to be the case. Looking for some exits, and Team Spirit over on the B bomb side there. Execution as we expected. Basic control of the start. Take the vision away from the CTs towards Banana. Smoke towards Coffins. CT spawn. Molotov new boxes. And the real difference there was this play here. 3 players towards Ruins when the CTs had no chance at close range to even look for a kill.
So if you were taking note of the radar just then, you would see that the retake smoke was top Banana. So Sergey's job was to go very late. It wasn't that he was baiting the team. It was that the rest of the guys were meant to take the aggro first, and then he was going to come up Banana late and clear out that car and sandbag position. We will see the force buy coming out here from ENCE, and the key point here that you want to note is those smoke grenades in hand. They're going to try and milk out as much time from the clock here as possible, and then when Team Spirit have to make a last-minute decision to hit a bomb site, that's when those pistols in the close range can really do all their damage. So it comes down to right now, ENCE not losing any numbers early.
Well, they've taken a lot of damage there, Alex. Double nades at the corner. Alu, he'll scamper back with his tail between his legs. And for now, the Desert Eagle, we do see a lot of shots come through with this particular weapon at this angle, but flashed off. It will be Team Spirit. Good spacing, using the buddy system nicely. Smoke down, as Chad mentioned. That's just nice and access.
Absolutely no commitment, though, from this. Just drawing out what little CT utility they have. That's the first smoke dropped, and still 60 seconds for the rest of these Deagles and CZs. There's a second and a third smoke now flying through the air. One arrives in middle, and a second replacing the one that has just passed in Banana. Looks a little like there's a bit of a gap for them to play around. CT smoke released. Just trying to keep the CTs there, and there's 3 of them still there, Hank. They are gobbling up the bait.
Yeah, the smoke's down. It has convinced them you've got to take a few gambles in these sort of rounds, and for now, it will be an A finish coming in, with Magix leading the charge towards the apartment position. You can see the smoke down. We talked about how important this is. 35 seconds, that's a god-tier smoke. Luckily, only 1 player towards that choke point. It might dissuade their final attempts here as they do fall back towards middle. Flashbang out towards quad. Mid controllers there, still 3 CTs towards B, so it should be a Team Spirit round, but a CZ at this range, it could cause a bit of chaos here. Waiting in the smoke, remember you get an advantage from that these days, and there it is. Magix will display it for us quite nicely, and Sergey needs at least 2 kills to even attempt the round. Not going to happen. Might as well save the Eagles now.
Yeah, that was really well handled by Spirit. It did look like the ENCE boys were doing everything right, though. The smoke arriving 30 seconds, you acknowledge that was perfect, dreamy. But they could still overcome it just simply by the power of their weapons and traveling as a pack.
If you can sense them coming, you can drop a smoke at a choke point. Ideally not apartments, it's not as powerful. If you get that towards, let's say, the mouth of banana or top of middle, and you've locked them out in that regard, that's when things become complicated. A choke point like apartments, usually 1 player lurking towards there. If you're lucky, there's 3 trying to burst out, but still at 30 seconds, they could re-coordinate back towards middle and didn't even lose a single kill. So yes, nice attempt from ENCE, but very well handled from Team Spirit. This is their map pick, and I think their CT side is where they do most of their damage as well. So this is looking very promising for them. Everyone can survive in the pit. 5 players to survive. As we mentioned, ENCE holding on to Deagles, CZs, you might as well. You get a second bite of the cherry. If you take that forward, you have a chance of winning the round. And that's a replay of Magic sitting in the smoke, just waiting for his opportunity to get that frag.
So is that a new patch that has arrived?
I don't think it's new. It's just come into like fashion this year especially. It's always been around, but players are realizing how powerful it is now. We had the smoke radar bug, I believe was the most prevalent one last year.
Where everyone would just look at the radar.
And now that's gone, where they're just sitting in the smokes now and waiting for it to clear, because if you're inside the smoke, you get a half a second advantage.
Right, if you're crouching, I believe it's like you crouch in the center of the smoke as it fades, you get the little peekers advantage, see them before they see you.
There's other details as well where if you know where the smoke is and you can put yourself in a corner and you have good crosshair placement, you can be prepared for their angles from a different angle, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so as that smoke's clearing in that apartment's position, Magic, he might have his crosshair ready for that kind of a fight. But that's a good opening right here.
Yeah, this is something. Oh, nearly had them line up. He is going to be flashed off and not fragged just yet. It's only the Desert Eagle of X7 trying to keep them at bay. 2 Kevlar vests and a helmet for ENCE in our third, and doesn't really look too promising just yet. Bombs at T steps. These boys are in absolutely no hurry.
Definitely not. It's a good start from ENCE. I'm not sure why Alu would offer himself up for the response kill, because he had a chance to fall back there. He was low HP, could have kept it to 5 on 4, but opted for another 1 dig instead. In terms of mid-control, that has been granted towards Team Spirit, but the utility now with 3 smokes, 3 flashes, a single Molotov. I think a B finish is on the cards here. But ENCE have read that very well. This would be a gamble stack that could work out tremendously well for them. 4 players on the CT side, that's everyone making their way over towards the beat side of the map, and they will have to deal with the 2 smokes we saw before. Coffin, CT spawn, Molotov the new boxes, but with the boost coming in, there's a good chance they can win this. It's on a bit of a knife's edge, even with just the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit nervous. Sweaty palms for Spirit. This should be their round, a guarantee, but if they check, or rather don't check, Aerial pushing through the smoke, it's X7 to find the frag. Sunny lines up another 20 seconds. Magic's, he's gonna get caught out. Boosted up to draw his attention. It's all Sunny to save it with another double kill. Him and X7, 2 kills apiece, and ENCE win with just 2 Deagle armors.
Yeah, I was about to praise Spirit for how poised they were late in that last round, but here they've fluffed a kill early, and then it just feels like they've gone with a bit of an all-in. Obviously, inexperience for Team Spirit of playing against, ENCE. Well, no, they probably play against ENCE quite a bit, but playing at the top level with those situations all the time is something which is quite difficult to master.
Yeah, running the clock down there, really not ideal. On those sort of rounds, especially when you know they've saved a few Deagles and stuff, it's unlikely they have the smokes. You're much better off in those sort of rounds. Number 3, going for an all-in group attack early on so you can actually ascertain what you're up against instead of running the clock down to 20 seconds, panicking, going to a stack there. Would have liked something much quicker and coordinated together. A B finish seemed like a bit of a misplay to me. Now, this is what we talked about with the flash attack, Alex. You very rarely see more than 1 player towards the apartments, but when you do, it's 1 flash going over and you're trying to surprise them, trying to catch them out of position. So far, so good. As Murder opened things up, takes down Aerial. X7 needs to deliver here, but this is a really nice call. You lost the previous round, but it was still relatively close. You managed to make them a little bit uncomfortable. They've had to reinvest with all their grenades. You can see X7, Alu, Aerial, all fully invested here, meaning they won't have absolutely everything. Why not even have the AWP, which they don't? You've got the 3 players out the apartments. It sets the pace of the game, and now they're worried about that going forward. It's a great round for Team Spirit. Good response after losing to pistols.
Yeah. Absolutely no hesitation. Flying out. I love that you got to see it from the CT's perspective. As Dae-Young flies off that balcony, he has probably, what, half a second to line up his crosshair and try and track a moving target with a white screen.
Anyone who plays apartments on the CT side of Inferno know it's absolute suicide to even challenge that position. You can't really stand up there alone challenging with M4. So it's not going to work out. You can move an AWP over every now and then.
Right.
So that's why, if you know they're not playing anyone towards the apartments, walk up slowly, silently, flash out. Everyone comes through. The flash is decent, and they miss that first AWP shot, or in this case, rifle shot. And we'll see that that's the flash there. Yeah. How can he do anything about that with that flash coming in? It's very well timed and a very well played strategy from Team Spirit.
That perfect highlight, exactly what I was talking about. Shout out to the replays. And into our 5th round. It is going to be ENCE swallowing their pride a little bit, and those that did do the damage with the Deagles, X7 and Sunny, both picking up a double kill to pick the first on the board. Now, just with the very same side armor, take it back. Sunny does have an AK drop to him, and Alu looking for some aggressive AWPing perhaps to start this one off.
Considered one of the best CT snipers on Inferno, Alu will have to step up here. The device smoke to get him in position, but he takes a lot of damage there from the HE down to 44, and blind as well. They dish out a little bit back in response. That's Mur down to 89, but that's about it. So Alu knows he has to be aggressive, but he's not finding these opening picks. He's got to have a slow start into this game. He's got to grind out these kills. And for now, 5 rifles for Spirit. Now they know they've pushed your back. They just could be throwing their grenades at the barrel position. Molotov to push him back even further. Alu, he might be better off just repositioning to another side of the map at this point, considering he's shown presence. We'll see what he's got in mind. Boots himself up for an HE and potentially an incendiary bounce to the top. So to smoke towards half wall. You can then throw an incendiary in front of that, but they've been caught with their pants down, Alex. As soon as they're setting that up, they push in, and that's round over. It's done.
Is it foolish to assume that it could have just been the sound cue of the pins being called?
Could have been. I wanted to say that, but I wouldn't know for sure, but it certainly didn't help.
It synced up. It definitely did. As soon as we saw the Alu POV of that smoke being pulled, Chopper just holds W.
I don't like that at all. I don't know about you, Chad, but the fact that you know you've got your AWP on low HP, I want him going emo. I want him coffins and just ready as a turret. I don't need to retake towards half wall with a smoke and incendiary and I've got low HP AWP. I just want to be falling back and making sure we try and win the round.
I think one of the fears that maybe they're having early is not being able to maintain map control, because I wouldn't mind it if we could right now dive into Skybox from that previous round where Team Spirit were able to steal one back after the loss and actually dive a little bit more into that. So when this round comes to an end, I'm sure we'll be able to jump on in and show everybody.
Let's do it now. We can, because this round should be done, right?
This is done.
Yeah. I'm not sure how technically
capable
ahead we are at this point, but it sounds like you know what you're
I'm trying to
about.
get all the teething out early.
Okay.
So if we here we go. Okay. No, this is
so he pulls the pin, and at that same moment, Chopper just has the
It wasn't a
timing
good play from ENCE. Like, it was a nice idea. You could see he's got zero cover there. His teammates deep in coffins, not even covering him. So he went down, and then he has to swing. So what was the real play there? What was the mentality? It was a disjointed affair, to say the very least. A nice idea in terms of let's retake banana, but you're not together.
It's like me when I've just gone and learned a new smoke, and I'm constantly, desperately trying to make sure I throw it.
Like, even if he got the smoke down, he's low HP anyway. So all he can do is flash over his teammate with the incendiary down and try and pull a kill back. That was the mentality. But with the AWP up, that's so valuable.
Look at Ariel.
Pallet spot here for Ariel. Not traded. Iris balance could have been on that quicker, but he gets away.
That's perfect. Considering he's the only rifle, that is just a dream to start off this round for ENCE.
If they can milk anything out of this one as well, it's one of these situations where for people who aren't aware, obviously if you're taking a look at the side of things from Spirit, they have the better weapons, the better utility, all that kind of stuff. But when you see the pistols on the ENCE side, and this happens on both, either if you're on the T side or the CT side and you have pistols, you'll approach the game a little bit differently, right?
Yeah.
You won't be as cautious as if you have the Krieg with a full set of nades. You might, take a couple more risky decisions, and those risky decisions are what can unravel some of these gun rounds. Because if you get 2 kills with the Deagle when you weren't expected to get anything in a standard scenario, that's how they're able to win these kind of rounds. So maybe ENCE will take a few more risks here. So it looks like it will be another B finish.
Feels like a risk for Mir if he goes towards that gap. Alu's just looking to exploit with the jiggle.
This is where Team Spirit crumbled before. Same sort of scenario. Up against his pistols. 25 seconds on the clock. Smoked out. Doesn't look good at all. This is...
They're flashed. Oh, this shot from Sunny. Alu just managed to find 2. but it does look like the site has been taken in time. With 15 seconds remaining, they'll clear it out and get that bomb planted.
They don't deserve this one, but it looks like it's going to work out for them. Team Spirit left in a 2-on-2. Same issue as before, just getting held out. All 5 players there, very telegraphed. Luckily for them, one of their flashes hits that close-ranged Eagle, who couldn't hit a single thing. 2-on-2 heavily favors Team Spirit here. You can see no utility, no armor for Sergey, just a single rifle. And they'll give it their best shot. They've got about a 10-second window here before they get to the point of no return. But the positioning looks too good. PG-50 at that range, sure, you get that 1 kill, you have to nail this very quickly. Not going to happen, and Aerial will be removed as well, even after getting 2 kills.
All right, guys, we're jumping into Skybox from that previous round that I was talking about here, and what I wanted to highlight was the 3 players over towards the B bomb site. So you will be able to see 2 guys left in the site. We can take a look here that there's nobody in Banana because this is a full-on A play coming on out, and it was the timing of this pop flash in halls. So X7, as you can see him moving into the site, he rotated over from B. Look at this position. They're both in a terrible spot, very clunky in the site, and the timing of these pop flashes was perfect. Isolates both of them, and simple as that, we can jump back into game.
Flash attack towards the apartments. If the flashes are decent, it's very difficult to hold. Great attack there, good change of pace, and knowing okay, they didn't have the AWP, they didn't necessarily have incendiaries as well. Not much that could be done, and it's going to be 5-1 here for Team Spirit. The woes of ENCE continue. As once more, they have just 5 rifles here. Alu, I have to say, like, he's had a couple of good maps in the last few months, but ever since they've kind of moved things around and brought him in as the in-game leader / AWPer, like, hasn't looked the same on this map in particular. And Sergey to be tested again. Couple of frags for him, but the same story for Team Spirit. Aerial needs multiple kills in a standard chance, and they've been mowed down. This round over. You can't retake this. No utility, no kits, no helmet for Sunny. Alu will have to step up, and he hasn't done so far.
Yeah, and that's confirmation right there. I disbalance securing himself the second and even throwing out the incendiary to ensure there will be no CT gimmicks. Sunny, the last man, he's just going to keep hold of his M4.
Are we keeping a track at the predictions here? I feel like I've got a bit of a winner here.
You feeling confident?
Yeah, I feel like we should have. Do we have an official leaderboard?
There will be a leaderboard.
Okay,
yeah,
make sure this one is counted.
Yep, for sure.
Okay, because this is definitely a 2-0.
We're going to have
just throwing that out there. This is happening.
We're going to have a slow next round, most likely. So maybe we can fill the viewers in on some of the fun stuff, though, because obviously there's 2 sets of 3. We've got the Lanchin, the crew, and
we need a better name than Lanchin Boys or Lanchin Crew.
Maybe public can tweet at us.
Brainstorm.
Use the hashtag ESLCS.
There we go.
Or ESL Pro League is the one that I've been using. It's quite long, but that's the one that I use.
Lots of letters.
But we're going to be playing against the other trio in a bunch of different Counter-Strike challenges and stuff.
Lanchin Lads.
The Lanchin Lads.
Alliteration.
Lanchin Lads. There we go. That's it. Done. That's what we needed. It was hurting my brain getting there.
No, but you got there. And it only took you 30 seconds. And there's even a timeout.
So don't tweet at us.
We've
already worked it out.
Cancel that.
But we will be doing hashtag Clip It Chad, which we did last season Pro League.
I loved that.
Yeah, Henry, people, you may have missed this.
I think I did.
People can tweet in with the hashtag Clip It Chad.
How many tweets did you get?
Quite a lot, actually.
At the start, it was real popping off.
It was booming, and I will be able to hopefully bring them some stuff that's happening.
So when they say clip it, what are you clipping exactly?
So at the moment in front of me, I have this PC with Skybox on it. We'll be using Skybox exclusively today, but as we move into tomorrow, I'll be able to hopefully grab live demos and clip stuff from the match. We could even jump into Counter-Strike, a server on Inferno. I can show you guys some bits and pieces as well.
Okay, so the difference is now we can clip it, Chad, while the game's live as well. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Previously, he had to kind of like, it was a whole endeavor.
Technical issues.
It was a special room somewhere. Now he's just hanging out in the studio.
I think something that could be really cool if you're a new Counter-Strike fan and you're a little bit interested in maybe why something went down a certain way, we can clip it and we can explain those bits and pieces for you. And maybe explain why Team Spirit are struggling. Let me just talk about an example of what they can do. So we have some flurry of kills. Good trades. I like this attempt as opposed to just throwing all the utility, right, and then getting smoked off. Here they were planning to walk and take contact, which meant that ENCE didn't know when to throw the smoke. They didn't have that tell of utility on the map.
Good chance here, friends.
Yeah, another one with the Deagles.
Deagles, 1 M4. They managed to trade out a couple of kills. Wasn't bad play from Team Spirit by any means. They had 3 players there. They've traded out the kills they had to so far. Still a massive advantage for them. But we did see a little bit of damage inflicted by X7 with the Desert Eagle towards Magix. They'll throw away the Kriegs now just to make sure they can't be recovered by ENCE. And they'll slow it down, Chad. I think you'll say they'll just approach this like a new puzzle.
Yeah, so that's a concept that I've kind of been flirting with a lot in my recent Counter-Strike, especially with... So the way that you would look at it, let's use the mini-map in the top left corner for everybody. That is the outline of the map, huge kill right there. And that would be considered the puzzle, right? You have to solve this puzzle of, you know, who meets at what choke point, what executes are available, how are you going to win the round? But... Oh, I almost got the double. That could have been round changing right there. This should be safe now for Team Spirit. So what I mean by when I say, you know, it's a new puzzle piece is once you learn what area of the map that you have, once you learn what area of the map they have.
What weapons they have.
Exactly. It all shifts. So if you take some territory on the map, like we're seeing a lot on Dust 2 at the moment, where teams are just taking long, they are turning their puzzle piece just into long.
Yeah.
So if you want to push us, if you want to flank us, that's okay. We're just going to hold long. And then we'll have multiple different plans to take the bomb site.
They threw the kitchen sink of poor X7 there towards the end. They had another Molotov in reserve as well. And it's where things kicked off. It was quite a juicy encounter towards Banana, but as Chad said, they put the brakes on. They started to go towards long, which makes sense, up against the Desert Eagles and trade out kills continuously until they find the round victory. And it's 7-1, Alex. Yeah. No one wants to see that. Alu doesn't have the AWP. Once again, he sits on 4 and 6. We said he's the best CT sniper historically on Inferno, or at least up there, and we haven't seen much from him at all so far.
What I am seeing, though, is a whole lot of Kriegs. Clearly, the Team Spirit boys now, as time has continued to pass, have managed to feel fully confident and to embrace that weapon and smash with it. We're seeing a lot of those teams that are in the Tier 2 take extra advantages. In fact, you know, let's not forget ENCE and the Org. This was they synced their trajectory, their upswing in performance with a powerful CT scoped rifle. Now the T1 is battling them down to 7-1.
I guess we should find out before each game. Do we know whether ENCE are in like a team house right now? Are they playing from home? Do they have an office?
We can
nice to know.
Yeah,
ENCE are all playing in the same
room.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess just to know as well, we probably won't see many tactical timeouts. Just to might as well be humans about this.
Yeah.
They're going to be chatting, whatever happens. Right? I don't know whether we can really do much about that. So I don't think you'll see many tactical timeouts. But from time to time in high pressure moments to calm down, that's the only time I think it'll come through.
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose you'll also see a little more of those timeouts to slow your opponent down as opposed to anything else.
Exactly, yeah. They're running, like, ENCE should have used one by now. Would I be correct in saying that, Chad?
No, we had a rule when I was playing on Renegades that if we lost a streak of like 5 or 6 rounds, that we would call a timeout. Because you think about it, you get 4 of these, right? And if you're going to use 2.5, if you've lost 5 or 6 rounds in a row, you know, you're almost 50% of the way through.
That's what we were talking about. Na'Vi, Katowice. We'll get into that later. We do have a nice crossfire here.
It almost worked.
It's a nice one.
Pretty good. It was a good attempt. Just what we were talking about with Na'Vi, Katowice. They didn't start using their timeouts until the semi-finals.
Yeah.
We were watching them every time. It's like, guys, you've just lost 7 rounds in a row. You could throw this map and you're trying to knife people. Let's take a tactical timeout and use the most experienced in-game leader from your region and try and herd these kittens of 20-year-olds you've got within Na'Vi. Let's try and do that. Which they started to do towards the end, to be fair. I feel like they heard us. I think that we kind of basically helped them win. We helped them win Katowice.
I don't want to say we won Katowice.
I feel like my name should be on the trophy as well.
Okay, well, look, we have a pretty good relationship with Simple. I'm sure we can ask him, get that sorted out.
Bring our own chisel and hammer to the next event. Get it inscribed.
So I suppose what we can do is maybe talk about a little bit of the overall of this group right now.
It was quite rushed. I was all flustered.
Yeah, that's the death segments, Henry. I know that you've had to be doing the cast. But
I haven't done a death segment of 4 years. So.
Sometimes things change.
Yeah,
things
it came up. So Henry, group
rapidly.
is your thing. I had a good 6 seconds on that one. So here we go. Right.
But you saved the goal for when we went on the deeper dive of group
That's
A.
it, exactly.
But for everybody at home, Astralis are the clear favourites in this group. And then in terms of the second spot, you could argue that it's completely open right now due to the Vitality situation, due to ENCE not playing to any of their form, Spirit just coming in to replace. Obviously, we had teams like Boom, Renegades, Tyloo as well, who are unable to travel due to the current situation. But I really want to get stuck into this round right here. This could be the swing point for ENCE.
It has to be. This is the sort of round you would win, though, like when you're desperate. You've brought an MP9 out, you've got some rifles, someone's going to have to make a play, and this is probably the boost up towards the atrium. Just waiting. It's a compromised position at best. That's why you have to look in towards the wall here. You have a player beneath you.
Very open to flashes.
Who's open the flashes. So you have a player who's dodging the flashes up top. Someone who's peeking from the pillar beneath you will take the initial aggro. When the flash pops, aerial 180s or 90-degree turn in this case, and he'll hopefully spray them down. But honestly, it's so archaic, that setup now. I feel like it's pre-fired every single time. I don't see it work too often. And at the very least, you need a silenced M4, in my opinion, to make it work.
We'll see. Young, he's about to dip his toe in the water, or at least show some presence, making sure he has the lineup for his quad smoke. But his team no longer posturing towards Banana either. So this 4-man setup at the mouth of mid could very well pay off, friends.
It's all about the flash, remember. If the flash is strong, they're in trouble here. CT's making a lot of noise. Aerial repositioning. Still staying true to the initial quad focus, but dropping off the A-prim now back to crossfires. They've got 3 players towards B again, Alex, with the same flashbang coming in, but a better setup for the CTs this time. Will Aerial be affected? He won't be, but he's good for 1 frag here. Sergey gives up his spot. He's not getting more than 1 there, Chad, and that's going to be it. 4 versus 3. MP9 in the retake. Mert with the most idyllic position you could hope for in this sort of scenario. Nailing them now.
Wow.
But the sewing machine, it stitches Mir in the face.
It certainly does. Cross-stitch, I think, as well. Quite a complex one. But 3 versus 2. They are just going to be backing away from this one and accepting their fate again. I really like that Magix chose to take the fight on the hay bales because we saw it from the CT's perspective. Stopping the wide swing after getting that kill is such an adjustment.
At this level of the game, it's all about crosshair placement. That's what we'll see on pistol rounds primarily. When you've got Glocks, the first player will jump around. I say on ramp from, he'll jump through the first corner so the USP just can't get multiple headshots. So you're a bit of a martyr in that sense, but if you do enable them to get a quick trade or deny only 1 kill, that's absolutely everything. Team Spirit, they are destroying them right now. There's nothing too flashy here. We haven't even seen really a fake at all. This is like lots of just set pieces, good map control at the start, and they're actually just beating them in pretty much every facet of the game, mainly individual duels.
This was a nice duel, though. That was something for X7.
Yeah.
But, yeah, 4 kills to his name.
We've had 1 Alu AWP, like an iconic AWPer. Like, not even just on Inferno, I keep saying, like, iconic for this team and influential in their success. He's had the AWP once, and he did a wide swing towards barrels.
Yeah.
That was his only attempt so far. That was it.
The thing is, it depends on... It's
Isn't
hard
this
to
a
even...
financial thing?
But what is he spending his money on, Chad?
It is a financial thing as well.
He's got an M4, no helmet, no nades. What is he spending his money on? A Deagle armor? Like, what's he been investing in? What's he saving for?
I think it depends on what are they trying to solve right now.
Yeah.
So are they trying to solve the fact that they're having a hard time holding on to any map territory? Even late rounds when they have very forward crossfires, they're not trading efficiently, right? So even if Alu was finding opening picks, the team as a whole aren't getting multi-kills.
I would still like that. Presumably the sustainable approach they have is, though, on our CT side of Inferno, we have the AWP here, and we have sometimes a 3 towards B. We have this quad setup. We have some crossfires, and that's where you want to be. Your go-to should be your main star AWPer, has the sniper available at all times, but he's had it once and he's had to make a frustrating play because they're so far behind. He's had to go for an aggressive pick. So he's still a capable M4 player, don't get me wrong, but when you have a star AWPer within your ranks, you want to try and utilize it. This is them on the back foot right now.
But let's just take a note at a bit of the round timeline. Hold up, this could be...
This could be it. Sunny tucked in on the corner. Second orange is disbalanced his hunting. And oh, too easy. Chopper actually finds his head, and now the sight and the round is gone.
Where was the first player there for the CT? Where was X7?
Look for the blue X. He died mid. It was just Sunny.
Okay, so solo.
It's the most basic thing whenever I'm casting this. If you die individually like that and you haven't even presented a crossfire, like the Team Spirit done something very convincing and very good, which they kind of did. It was like a surprise kind of gallop into the bomb site with not much thrown in. But at the same time, the fact that you haven't been able to take aggro to survive, let your teammates swing out, Sunny's in a position where he's just been pre-fired and not even got a shot off. Like, he's your best rifler in the squad, and we haven't really seen anything.
Something's gone wrong.
I'm just rewatching it now.
Let's have a look.
Maybe we can bring it up, Skybox. Let me just sort out a few camera angles for everybody at home.
It's very futuristic, this. Multiple games within games.
I have never experienced this. Commentating and being able to break it down simultaneously.
All right, let me just...
Got it for me?
Let me just talk to my astronauts.
Well, if you are just joining us, this is the inaugural game of the ESL Pro League online season now at this point. We are here live from Cologne.
This is the duel you're talking about here, Henry. X7's here, and Magix is just holding middle. And he pushes without a flash. He does have the, a rifle. But what happens after that is they instantly just go hit this B bomb site, right? So as soon as that's gone down, they're already in. There was no time for a rotation
Sunny is the
at all.
anchor. To be fair, that anchor position he's got, you won't see many players sitting there. Like, normally you want to be towards coffin, so even if it does go wrong, you're falling back to ruins, right, and you're surviving. Like, that's a very all-in position, considering they'd lost a man. Maybe that's why he wanted to do it. So, he had a rifle, right? So, that's still an ambitious piece.
I understand the info play, right? But you already had top mid control, and you knew you didn't have banana. So you should have already been hedging a player towards B most likely. X7 going aggressive is so they weren't rotating too many people, but they didn't have anybody else there. So right now, this map is, in my opinion, done.
Yep.
Right? This map, you could probably just pack it up. Like, of course you can come back from, the team would be believing that they can get the last 4 rounds on the board, right? And then they could maybe have but just the way this has looked, it hasn't looked competitive, right? So we have how many rounds here that have ended in bomb explosions? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the rounds so far that Team Spirit have won. They've had success getting into the bomb site, they've had success planting that bomb, and then defending against a retake. So nothing's really working for ENCE.
They just got absolutely shredded by nades. They flashed each other. The nades landed in their faces, and it's done over 100 damage between X7 and Alu there. So Alu, again, aggressive. And he has the Krieg this time, so understandable, but he's got low HP, can't really do much with this. They'll HE back. This is actually quite promising. They could swing off this as well. Good HE towards Chopper. And yeah, I like the swing. Sunny with 100 HP to do it at least. Fully blind gets the kill. But remember, they're low around this corner, and one by one, they will be taken down. X7, he just needs to hope they don't check his position, but they're going to go one better than that. It's a Molotov right in his position now, and down he goes. Not quite 4 HP, and as good as dead, really. He'll need a rotation eventually. This could be Sergey and Ariel on the other side of the map.
God, that's a lot of pressure to put on X7, because at the moment, he's accepting that he could try and solo hold this site with no 4
nades.
HP and no nades.
No nades is the main factor. They don't even have to execute it. They can just walk into B and the round's over. There's no position you can play with 4 HP. That means you're going to win. You're better off playing like CT spawn would be fine. They can smoke it. You can hopefully like get a couple of kills with the smoke. That's about as good as it's going to get. With the silence, with the M4A4, I should say, not the silence M4, that's going to be very difficult. Luckily, a telegraphed approach here. Flash comes through, and down he goes. 1 HP was never going to do much with that.
Ariel, though, could do something. It's only going to be the one. Sergey miles away, and so Team Spirit, an all too familiar circumstance for ENCE, is watching that bomb go down, being on the other side of the map and talking about what you can do better next time.
Can we... Oh, maybe the series will change, and they might start looking better on their own map pick. Highly likely that they will start looking...
Yeah.
But I really just need to jump back into this. Last year, Katowice, ENCE, fantastic. Fundamental Counter-Strike, completely built on that, and then from that, their individuals flourished, right? We started to see better signs. We know that Alu is a good player. He has played for a long time. He's played on NIP, he's played on FaZe Clan, he's been around, he's played with the big boys, and then he went to this team, and nobody thought he would go anywhere. They replaced their in-game leader, Alexi B's gone, but he wasn't one of the star fraggers. Ariel won an MVP at the tournament. Sergey's Mr. Consistent. The guy has 2 kills to his name right now. Sergey has dropped off something ridiculous. When Sunny was in Mouse Sports, he was the best player in Mouse Sports. So the names on the team in terms of firepower exist. So where's the problem here? It has
Leadership?
it has to be the direction of the team. Baffling.
Unfortunately, you're dead on, and it's Alu who's, if I'm not mistaken, the in-game leader right now. Right?
Yeah.
That has to change. Like, we're not seeing anything from him. The team is falling apart at the seams. Like, that just has to change. If you're not going to change roster, let's change positions up. Let's change the in-game leader. Let's just start fresh and just stay right. None of this is working. We'll just go back into it.
Right. A lot of people, acknowledge the young guns. Gosh, Sunny doing a good catch onto Mir, and he paid quite the price for it, down to 6.
What was your point?
My point was that, a lot of these newer players, the likes of Boomich is a great example, Alexi B another one, these CSGO purists, I think they tend to have a good understanding of the fundamentals of Counter-Strike naturally, subconsciously. Yeah. And so my suggestion is, maybe we get another young gun. I'm looking at the likes of perhaps an Ariel, a Sergey, an X7.
Money just to go.
I think probably bring in someone who has done it before and probably wants to do it.
I was going to say Zen. Bring him in.
Well, the thing is, if Twister takes over and then he basically does in-game leading from the coach position and just sets them up game plans with all these different options, a lot of work, but then they wouldn't necessarily need to look... Someone would still have to be a mid-round caller, right? Yeah. They still need it. But at this point, look, Zen's not a bad shout if they need a new player. Otto's not a bad shout if they need a new AWPer.
If you want to get rid of Alu to start fresh, you go with Otto. That probably wouldn't be the worst shout in the world. We'll see if they can make this round work. We are talking over it because when it gets to this point of the game, I've cast a lot of online CS in my time. It gets to this point, they ain't coming back. They're not going to do much with this.
And if they do, we'll put it on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hold on. Well, that was it. 2-on-1. There is a chance for Alu. We said he's one of the best CT snipers on Inferno. If there's ever a chance to prove it, this would be it. But I wouldn't even be thinking about this clutch. He's smoked out again. You're towards Library. You've got no kit. And you're up against 2 players. We've got another smoke. There is a slight gap, I suppose. They'd have to make a catastrophic error at this stage.
Here's the situation right now is you need rounds.
Yeah, but he needs the AWP as well, right?
Yeah, I guess. Where does the trade-off go?
Yeah, I mean, when does the round happen?
Oh, dear.
Now he's got 3,400. It's like, now we've got Zero chance winning that.
Yeah, so they're on the max loss bonus, obviously. So they can scrap together some Famuses.
Sunny's doing everything he can. He did that mouse sports maneuver he used to do with Chris J at the start of the round, pushing down Banana, does a load of damage, rotates back towards A, gets 2 kills in the pit. He couldn't do much more in that round. His teammates aren't really contributing, unfortunately. Nothing's really happening for them.
Did you guys ever catch the someone actually just quickly took a snapshot of Sergey's individual rating before LXCB's departure and after? It's
a river of red.
Goodness me, yeah. It just goes from all like 1 point something to rather grimacing red column.
Well, there's the opening kill. That was actually Aerial challenging towards second middle. Some Young looked like he had his number, to be honest with you, with the Krieg in hand, but didn't work out. Idis balanced with the AWP now.
Just to build on that point Alex was making, he was the 13th highest rated player of 2019.
Crazy.
13th best player in the world.
Yeah. So if you think about the drop off of ENCE towards the tail end of last year, think about how good he must have been in the early stages.
Yeah, what a year. He does get shut down now though by Mir, and good chance perhaps for the CTs, and just like that, X7 and Aerial are added to the kill total, and 13 is secured.
Look at those good rotation as well. They're not challenging the fact that, they could rotate in from Arch or Library. They smoke those 2 choke points off, fall back towards quad, and let's make sure this is a guaranteed round here. Very well played. Still have 3 incendiaries or Molotovs, flashbangs, smokes, no kits, and it's a UMP and an M4 on the retake here. I'm so dejected if I'm out of this map right now, and just like, let's just wait till the next one. This is not working.
Especially because of the map Inferno as well. You can get thrown into those retakes.
It's a CT-sided map.
It used to be a staple for it. It used to be like deadly on this map. It's insane. Like, their A bomb site used to just be like the trifecta of doom. The crossfires is coming in, like X7 gunning them down from the pit, like no problem whatsoever. Like it just looked like it was all so safe. Alu challenging second middle. He's sometimes down to T steps with an AWP.
That's right.
Never seeing any of that anymore. Like, where's all of it gone? They're so flat. That's why I said just reposition everyone at this stage. Let's just move everyone around. Because this is, you can't like
the
keep this up.
The problem we have here is
for the last round.
Yeah.
Hey, why not? If we started to look, right? If we started to look at the next map of Train, even then it becomes a little bit worrying, right? Like even then, I'm thinking to myself, well, if these players from Spirit are playing this well regimented, look, because nobody's beasting it up. Look at their kill distribution right now. The most kills is 13. It's not like somebody is just carrying them through all these rounds.
Yeah.
They are going around and as a team, systematically dismantling ENCE.
They're dropping their fun strats as well. They've done it twice. Let's do 3 Palmas, 1 flash. It's like they can't handle it. There's nothing that can be done. So let's just keep running that. And that's when you know, like, you've got them. You've got your foot on the throat, right? Like they can't even hold off.
There we go.
A basic attack. But this is more like it. Sunny, they had the open in the last round as well, and they've had this position once more towards Banana, but they can't convert these rounds. But Sunny, taking matters into his own hands, is showing us some of that star potential. But it's towards A, we could potentially finish it. Bomb still down towards T steps. Full control for Sunny and Alu still, who's on the Krieg, just to note. They seem to throw that to him more often than not. Maybe he's a bit of a specialist. Sunny, this is more like it. This is the ENCE we know and love, getting stuck in. Surely they convert this one.
Seems like a guarantee, all off the back of Sunny. And ever since you mentioned his mouse sports flair on Banana, you are seeing it back to back. Sunny, however, will be silenced, and there's plenty of time still on the clock for this puzzle to be rearranged.
So he was on the half wall, traditionally a pretty safe position, but again, similar to Atrium, it used to work a couple of years ago, now pretty common. You see players falling up there with the AWP, get a lot of kills. Now it's flashed off from T-Spawn, and it's no real problem. So that's a little bit unfortunate that even on a 5-on-3, you don't need a player on half wall. You play that position when the 5-on-3 is against you. You've got one player anchoring towards you to steal a couple of kills away. Luckily for Alu, that Molotov doesn't land in his position. They will assume it has done, so he needs to get at least 1 kill. He's been gifted a kill here. They won't be checking this necessarily. They'll think this is clear because the Molotov, as far as they're aware, has gone down.
No.
And see, they came out with the bomb out. They just didn't think that would have to be checked. So that's actually fortunate for Alu, but it wins in the round. And then we have it, 13-2. Not the best friends. No one's going to say that, but still with 2 rounds, it's better than 0. And they might have a chance in this one. We'll see if they can wake up on the map pick of Team Spirit here. We'll take a quick break and continue between ENCE and Team Spirit very shortly.
of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world. I want to conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I call the shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. And no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best, my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. And no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world.
We're looking for ENCE. We haven't found them in the first half. The second looking very promising for Spirit. It's our first map of our first day here of the ESL Pro League's 11th season. Overcoming adversity, it does seem to be somewhat of a conversation this week, and now ENCE have to do it here on Inferno. I'm Machine and I'm hanging out with my boys, the Lanchin lads. Alliteration is cool, Henry G and Chaddy B.
It's good to be here, Alex. Not so good for ENCE fans, I'm afraid. They're currently finding themselves 13-2 down on the pick of Team Spirit. It's the Inferno. You'd think if they sat on the T side...
It's disastrous, that's what it is.
It's disastrous, it absolutely is. You think they sat on the T side, you think, okay, not too bad, it's a CT side of map. But no, actually, the dead opposite. You can see the odds from GG.bet completely changing there in towards Team Spirit's favor. They have a 13-2 lead here. Win this pistol, call it done. But online Counter-Strike, you never know. The Pro League curse was 13-2 way back in the day.
Interesting.
Way back in the day, 13-2. Producers know what I'm talking about. We'll see what comes through.
Rush definitely knows what you're talking about. Oh dear. I can't believe we're at the 11th season of Pro League, and I can't believe that if Team Spirit win this pistol, we're already done with map number 1. This has been a very quick opening to season 11.
We're going to overtime. So, two very exciting options here.
It's pretty much how it works, to be honest.
Yeah. There's Rush.
Rush,
look at his focus.
Give us a wave.
Guys, he's got to press the buttons. He's doing his job.
He's actually got to...
He's got to do his job. He hasn't cut... There we go. Thanks, Rush.
Thanks, man.
Let's see. Disbalance does look like he's going to be the receiving end of this app's flash.
Just to note, both players are able to focus on halls here because their Arc player has full mid control. That was a little bit audacious.
Yeah, I like the crossfire a lot. I didn't like that push so much, but there's one kill brought back in. Magix will have to deliver! And he does in spades. The bomb goes down, and the hopes and dreams of ENCE go crashing down with them. It is going to be a 3-on-2, X7 and Aerial, trying to recover the situation here, but spotted and vaulted upon its Magix with 3 kills in total after winning the opening duel once again, lads. It all comes crumbling down.
That's not the first time. In fact, that was how the last round did find ENCE's second. Sunny going on a bit of a tear to find number 2 for ENCE, but now pistol lost and likely the map. Forcing, of course, What can you do with T-side Deagles and CZs?
Not much, really.
Hope you get offered up a couple of aggressive pushes from the CTs.
They were spicy.
So this kid, for those people who aren't too familiar with Spirit, Magix, as his name, with the 3Xs or the 2Xs that he has right there, he's a 16-year-old.
Damn.
More and more of these guys are showing up now. Like they've had their 15th birthday and mum said they can go pro.
His name is Boris.
Boris.
I'm not sure if you would pronounce it Boris, but it's definitely spelled that way.
He wasn't even born when I went to my first LAN.
There you go. That's how old we are.
Yeah.
Less of a statement about him, more of a statement about...
But I suppose what we could, like, with all these youngsters here, because this should just be a bit of a wash, really, in all truth of the matter.
Yeah.
With these youngsters, they kind of get to come on in and pick up where we left off in a way, or where the players before left off. All that learning of the way the game should be approached, how well you can use utility, mechanics. They come in and that's what they learn straight away is when everybody else is, they only see the peak at the time, right? So for the elder people, like Henry and myself, the version of Counter-Strikes that we were playing in the past played a lot differently, right? You didn't have everybody with amazing utility usage. Not everybody was as mechanically gifted. The game, the way it plays now, this is the best Counter-Strike that's ever existed. I don't think anybody could argue that.
Yeah, you have to be the full package. At this point, you can't be a specialist in one discipline. You have to know it all.
I only got by on my looks, so I don't think I would have had any business.
And look how well...
you wore a flag and you shouted.
I did shout
as well.
There was an inflatable kangaroo.
At one point, there's a kangaroo, flip-flops. So... we'll see if this flay from the CD spawn area comes through. It doesn't look good. The boost especially suggests this is, unless the CZ are pre-firing that, might not even get a chance. 3 kills from Mer. Chopper just needs 1 to guarantee the round, which he'll absolutely get. There it is. Might go down to X7 here, but apparently not. It's a jumping kill to finish things off. They get 1, but that was their force buy, and traditionally speaking, this would be a full eco, but now they have to force. So the same again, Desert Eagles and armor, and it's Mir just having his way with them.
That is either your favorite noise or your least favorite noise, that last round, you know, that noise right there, especially if you're on 15-2, that's probably your favorite noise right now. But for ENCE, well, they're going to scrap together some pistols once again and hope they can make a miracle of this, because look how fed up Spirit are right now with all those nades. They're big boys.
Yeah, they're going to start sending a barrage straight towards Sunny. You guys can catch just a little bit of chip damage. Shout out to little Momo. And round 18 could be the last round of play here. Can't believe I'm saying that to kick things off in ENCE versus Spirit.
Yeah, I did think Spirit were the favorites just by how woeful ENCE have been as of late, but I didn't expect this. A barrage of grenades thrown towards middle hit their target, so did the bullets of Mer, as his Silence M4 finds its 4th kill in the last 2 rounds. 5 on 4, couple of smokes, a few pistols, and not much else to speak about here in this matchup on Inferno.
What are the odds that this just bleeds out 1 kill at a time, or until there's about 20 seconds left, and then they don't even have many nades to work with? 2 smokes.
They can smoke like arch side and pit and just go for it.
Isolated. Oh, never mind.
Well, it was a good game.
It was. It was a quick game, and as my mum always says, a quick game's a good game, and she's never wrong.
She is never wrong, Mrs. Birdshaw, and neither are Team Spirit on the T side of Inferno, apparently. Very impressive stuff in their first half. Ran away with it 13-2. Magic showed us what he's made of in the second half. Pistol as well. A comprehensive victory, to say the very least, but it is a best of 3, boys, and it was the pick of Team Spirit. Is that me done talking, or has it?
Great.
isn't over yet. You lost one fight, but it's not the end. So get back up and fight again. Take one step, take another. Find the strength for your brothers. Erase the doubt with your battle cry.
Our first map, Inferno, does go the way of Spirit, and rather swiftly as well. Just 18 rounds of play, and the first map does go the way of one of the newest additions to the Pro League, Team Spirit. Young up-and-comers from the CIS region smashing, and the scores on the doors are rather indicative of a team effort, not only in defeat for ENCE, but also in that victory for Spirit. Just seeing what, 4 kills separating top from bottom, 5, 10 on Chopper.
4 out of the 5 players on Team Spirit only died 6 times. That shows you right there, that stat line, how competitive that game wasn't, right? If they're only dying 6 times, obviously the overall scoreline of 16-2, well, that says the same thing, but it's showing you that those individual rounds were not very competitive. They were able to get the bomb down very easily. They were able to entry frag into the bomb site, trading more efficiently. Everything was great from Spirit.
I was going to kind of ask to see the other side of the coin, because Hank, you were throughout that you were kind of observing what you weren't seeing from ENCE's CT side. Could we curate that list again?
We've lost pretty much the fundamentals of that CT side.
Yeah.
What made them ENCE on the CT side of Inferno just seemed to have completely vanished at this point. Mainly talking about Alu on that CT side, about his aggressive AWPing nature, which was almost a calling card of his at one point. Throughout the history of his Counter-Strike career, he's always been a CT-sided aggressive AWPer.
Like those mid-fights that you shouldn't win. Yeah.
And we saw him use the AWP twice, and I don't think he picked up a single AWP kill the entire map. I'm putting myself out there a bit there. I can't recall a single AWP frag. So what's going on there? And to speak of Sergey as well, within the top 20 last year, now getting 2 frags, and this sort of matchup as well against Team Spirit, just not even arriving to the occasion whatsoever. I have no idea how this team has fallen from grace so much to looking so woefully average. It's unbelievable. They just don't even seem up for it anymore.
No, and consider the opponent. I mean, this is players, it's their Super Bowl, sure, but this is players that have yet to have their moment in the sun. Some die young, we put in the spotlight for this performance on Inferno.
And these were one of the names that the community would have been throwing around when there were replacements required in Na'Vi. Some Die Young is an individual who is quite mechanically gifted, I think is a good way to put it. Now, in this game right here, it wasn't a difficult task for anybody on that Spirit side of things, but him as an individual is somebody to keep an eye out in terms of the ratings for this roster. He is the highest rated player for Spirit on LAN. I think Mir's up there as well. Mir's another name. He went over to Gambit for a short period of time. Chopper was playing with the Vega Squadron boys. iDisbalance, Henry, you actually played against him.
I did play against iDisbalance not so long ago, actually, last year, and it was a fun tournament. I was representing Team UK.
Yeah.
He was somehow playing within Team CIS as an amateur. But I did beat him in a best of 3. We took him down. Team UK took them down, no problem at all. Senya, I know you're watching. Comprehensive victory. And iDisbalance, I'm probably better than you at this point, I would say.
Okay.
Chad, what else have you got for us?
Well, I've got some stuff here that actually I broke this down in the middle of the game, and I want to do it where I can draw some things for you guys. So we're going to go over this round again. So you guys remember me talking before about the 3-man stack over towards B. We can see that right here. It's going to transition the 3 players over towards the B bomb site, and that's normally to get Banana control. The camera angle is about to shift, as we can see here. Chopper is the only man watching Banana. Everybody else is over towards alt mid. Look at this, all 4 players. So at this point, you're pretty sure that they don't want to contest Banana early, but the guys from ENCE, they don't know that. So X7's the rotator. You can see him over here towards spawn, and he's going to rotate over towards A now. But this is where we saw that pop flash come through halls. Now, we really want to focus on Ariel's position here, right? He's in limbo right now. He has actually opted to go play in the bomb site. Now, you would want someone in the pit position, maybe castle, because what we can see happening here is they're all stuck at that tall box in sight. Now, once they're able to get pit control, just check this out for a second, right? If you're the T side of things, you now have players on pit, on balcony. You get to like aim map. You're all looking in the same direction. You're not being forced to swing around. If we did see a player in pit, or maybe graveyard, or maybe somebody a little bit closer up porch side, these guys coming out halls wouldn't have an easy time. And this was why that strategy worked so easily for the guys from Spirit.
And even with the pit position being so commonly known, you can Molotov it, for example. We're seeing almost every single CD player reserve their smoke when that Molotov comes. You drop it in, you give yourself a one-way. It means like, sure, you might not be able to kill yourself, but it takes them a good 10 seconds to flush you out, spam bullets, which I don't want to. And that's why you have that sort of crossfire and use the pit to its full capabilities instead of both staying in the same position, allowing 3 guns just to gun you down from the same position.
You know, sometimes people, they'll watch the pit players and feel like, oh, they're just doing the same thing. Every time we jump to Twist POV, he's staring at the bicycle with an underhand smoke. You know, like that, it feels boring, repetitive, but there is so much more method behind that madness and why we're seeing it so often. Magic's.
It's such a hard one, isn't it?
Excuse me. Magisk and Twist, prominent pit players.
Yes.
Magic's in the server, of course, right now, where we're going to be getting into train when we get back. There is another break coming, but while we do take this opportunity, why don't I remind you about Clip It Chad? You just saw what he can do, and he can do that in an instant. Tweet us with the hashtag ClipItChad, and we'll be breaking down plays as fast as this Australian can move his fingers. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll get into train and see if ENCE have got anything to show.
These are those moments I don't think anybody else is going to forget.
Beim Computer, gibt nicht auf.
What he really wants is to win a major. It's his dream, and therefore it's also my dream for him to get that.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
11th season of Pro League, and already ENCE looking a little shaky on their first map. It was Inferno picked by none other than the CIS curveball that is Team Spirit, and they delivered. I'm joined by Henry G and Chaddy B. We're here to talk about Counter-Strike all day long. Guys, Train is up next. Any different expectations here? At least a little?
It can only get better for ENCE, at least. It has to at this point. Like, that was absolutely disastrous. But sure, it was the map pick of Team Spirit, but generally speaking, it's a middle ground for almost every single team. Normally seeing the third and deciding map of every series, but for now, that does not set the tone well at all. The AWPing especially, we move on to the most AWP-centric map probably in the game right now. D-Train, Aloe didn't post a single AWP kill. The entire map there, and if that's anything to go by, Chad, it's not looking good.
Yeah, interesting to note, in that entire game of Inferno, there were only 2 AWP kills. 2 AWP kills in that entire game,
weird.
And both of them were for iDisbalance, who is the primary AWPer over there on the side of Spirit. So going into an AWP-centric map, as Henry put it, a map like Train, with those 2 individuals, we expect to see a lot more from both of them on the big greens. I don't know if that will be the factor here, but if you are Alu and you want to get in feeling in the game like you're doing a good job calling, it's also very good to find impact with that AWP, right? Helps your confidence.
Okay, 2 previous in-game leaders of different iterations of Counter-Strike. Did you feel like you were calling better when you were fragging better? Is that like is that just a guarantee?
I feel like, yeah, it definitely is. When you feel like you're in the zone yourself and you're dictating where you want to play and you're calling, I'm going to go find a pick here. You guys do this. Right. That's when you're actually in the zone. You're in that Zen state almost. But if you're not finding any kills yourself and you're the AWPer getting 0 frags on your best map, you're going to be inside your own head. You're going to be trying to rely on your others to step up. We haven't seen Sergey post anything more than 2 frags in the entire game so far. Really isn't looking good for the 2 big names here. Talking about Train, though, historically, Sunny on the T side when he's in Mouse Sports, he is a monster on Train. He should be able to step up here against Team Spirit. He should be able to find space, get some kills going, some openers, which weren't the problem in Inferno. They got opening kills. They just couldn't convert those rounds whatsoever.
I don't know what Twister could possibly be saying in their mid-game team talk. They are playing from the ENCE gaming house. So
yeah, we saw that, didn't we?
There's
They've
a
got
chance.
a little webcam going.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that feed is. I just saw it on Reddit. Somebody put up, they've obviously lost their match, so normally what happens after that?
Close that stream down.
Yeah, you leave, you go have a team talk outside, normally in a new environment. Yeah. The only person left in the room at the moment, or according to the screenshot, it could be fake news for all I know, it was X7 playing Deathmatch. So we'll try and get our sources to work out if their sources are correct. But for now, it appears that X7 getting in a bit of extra headshot warm-up.
Sure.
And they all need it.
Yeah, well, you know, they all need a few things.
It did, you know, it does sound like we're kind of just beating a dead horse, but the reality is the independent fundamentals weren't there. People were not hitting their shots, they were losing their duels, and the boys from Spirit were hitting absolutely everything. King of the Creek, and we're getting ready for Train next.
Yeah, they're looking good as a squad so far. The spacing is there, the tactics are basic as well, really enjoying what they're doing as a squad. They can continue that on Train. It should be another convincing victory here for Team Spirit. We want to see ENCE wake up.
And I just want to point this out. When we say basic in this term, we're not talking about that individual you maybe know living down the road.
Sure,
no basic individual.
Not that basic.
We're talking about basic in a good way. What ENCE was built on is what Spirit were doing quite well here, is the fundamentals, trading well, good utility usage,
spacing,
moving around the team moving on the map as a team, or the team as a team. And look, I just got a couple of last-minute results here for ENCE that have happened recently on Train over at DreamHack Open, where they finished in a very, very bad position.
That last place?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
They beat MIBR on Train 19-15. Before that, the Ice Challenge. They lost to OG on Train 19-17.
Sure what you can take away from that result. You'd actually
not a lot.
Cast by Henry G Machine and just
Harry's not here yet.
He will do some casting.
He will be here later. But I'll be called whatever you guys want.
Yeah, Sponge, for those of you that are unfamiliar, SPUNJ, that's at SPUNJ on Twitter. His name is Chad.
Don't follow me on Twitter.
Did we get Rush a light ring in his setup? He's in the darkness over there. I don't want him to be illuminated.
Can you talk to us, Rush?
What's he got?
Yes, I got
there
a press
a light as well. That's perfect. They look much better.
How did you find the first map, Rush?
It was quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You got anything else for us?
Good insight.
I thought the strategical game of Team Spirit there, they really brought everything they had. And I'm looking forward to what they bring into Train. This is ENCE pick, so it could go very
Who are you going to observe
you know?
for us here? Who is your man to watch? Who's
Probably
getting the first
Sergey
frag?
might run out and possibly
talk us through your thought process observing here.
Look, they're all moving up, so there's one player I'm interested in. That's number 1.
Oh.
Chopper now.
Chopper with the USP You know, he's gonna be hitting some shots. Oh no, devastating.
Thank you so much, Rush. We'll get into the action now. It's going to be an opening pick there for ENCE. Remember, they've had plenty of those so far. Unable to win the rounds, but this is looking very promising. Now, chat, they don't have to fully commit towards inside, of course. They can hold up. They can see how this puzzle develops as I disbalance.
This is huge.
They've got 2 players going towards upper ramp. I like it.
3
I love it.
They're ready for it, though. ENCE are looking in that direction.
There's no way they expect this, Henry. Oh, my God.
He definitely didn't expect another.
Pushes them outside at least.
They should snowball outside right now.
Yeah. But they're not going to. But this is what you'd expect them to do, right? So it's not a bad call. You'd expect them to go outside, but they're not going to. Some die young.
They've got different thoughts.
Dismounts at the wrong time, has to find maybe 1 kill on the cross hit. Significant damage to Sunny, you can say that again. Just a 1 HP, and now the retake's looking very promising.
Oh gosh, yeah, there's a kit and a smoke on Magix. He's hitting frags as well, 2 already. Does have the support of Mir, closing in from the upper area. That's gonna make things awkward for X7. He's clocked it and will manage to reposition. Good damage inflicted into Magix. Let's not forget, he has to get to the site, and now he's gonna do it. But Sergey, oh no, Sergey! Misses the shots and stabilizes. Kit's on Magix's corpse, and now time is of the essence. He's gonna retrieve it now. Time check, smoke retrieved. He's got the smoke as well. No! Oh, this is going to be awkward for X7.
Oh my
3,
God.
2, he's descending the ramp and Spirit take the pistol. Oh!
No, they don't. What? He gets the headshot through the smoke, and X7 saves the day with about 0.5 seconds to spare there. It looked like the godlike play, the smoke on the molly, the 5-second defuse, but it's all denied here. To be fair, it should have been an ENCE round. It looked so convincing for them. When the flank from Connector as well, when that fell apart, this moment here, Sergey had to get 2 frags there. And fortunately for them, X7 saving the day from the lower ramp. But of course, a force buy in response now. Team Spirit, the Scouts, the Deagles, and finally an advantage for ENCE. They will be up 1-0, but they need to hold on to it.
So this is the first time in one map and one round that ENCE have been winning.
Exactly. And here they are.
That's what we need, the hard-hitting stats.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Let's see if they can build upon it. It is going to be a tumultuous journey with a UMP and some Scouts to overcome. Disbalance and Magix rocking them. Towards the halls they go. Not going to be seeing too much more of that CT aggression. Loved the response. 3-man push towards the inner site.
That was great. Those are those moves that we always talk about. Oh, okay.
They're coming in on this, actually.
Scouts are so dangerous on train.
With aim like that, oh no. Oh, he goes unchecked, will finally fall, and that should be the site. Not necessarily the round now, however, a lot more promising. Sergey will eliminate the flank, and it's going to be very difficult for the remaining Deagle. And, excuse me, an AK for Magix. He's managed to pick that up off the corpse of Sunny. Some Die Young stalking his prey. Wants to punish Alu.
I always hate it when you've gone too far, the trigger discipline. Like, see what's available to you, sure. But if you're going for a complete 180 and is hoping they don't check, that's when things can go wrong. There was a knife there available, but I guess he only loses the Deagle. It's going to be the AK save for Magix. 2 kills to his name. There's no real need to chase him here, considering the money's low on the T side. Let him save the AK. It's not that he can force up around it, but he'll hold towards the waiting room right now and look if they exit. And it looks like they'll just be holding towards upper ramp. But there it is. ENCE will get their second round there. A little bit dicey at one point, but well held. They give up 1 AK. Magix has been playing well so far. Maybe he can have a bit of impact here. This is the moment. Maybe this changes the tide of the round.
Yeah, he puts a UMP in his hand. There's a second chance there. And you can see Alu's POV. Hi.
We all like free things, so I guess Alu's going to be pretty happy with that one right there.
They say nothing in this world is free, Chad.
Maybe they're lying.
Maybe they do. Who is they, anyway?
I don't know. I think technically we are they.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Fast one this time.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see anything crazy different on a map like Train. I'm assuming we'll just see the standard 5-lane smoke.
Like this.
Okay.
Like that a lot.
This kid is good.
Not the best setup in this sort of round, but still they'll pull one back. That's going to be Sergey. AK removed. Should be round. 1 smoke, a P250 and a Zeus, just to note as well. Mir will at least recover the AK, but smoked out. Can't do a whole lot with it. Could go T-spawn, I suppose.
Disbalance might want to try and join him. Maybe try and jump around the corner, get some sort of information. Chopper is going to be tucking himself in towards Ivy, and another smoke arriving just to confirm that the round is theirs.
Now, I'm not 100% certain on this, but in the past, I have seen Mir as the inside anchor for teams, if I remember rightly here.
Yeah.
So if he does save this weapon,
The AK-47.
It's going to allow him to buy up full utility. Otherwise, he may have been a little bit strapped for cash, because as we can see, he only has 2.2. We're going into the third straight round loss, so we're looking at the 2,700 mark. So he would have been lacking some utility, and he will go down anyway. So we'll see how that will impact his utility a little bit. Him getting that kill does help.
Well, there we have it. 6K on the nose for Magic, so he can drop an AWP if required. I feel like ENCE-vs-SPIRIT should be fine to purchase his own, but that was the key frag there, taking down the AK-47. Magic's will buy the AWP, and they've gone for a double AWP setup, in fact. So this is always a nice way to kick things off. Aloe will bring his out for the first time as well, but didn't post a single AWP kill on Inferno. Is their pick, though. Enter up 3-0 on the T side, looking much better. Got more rounds than they did in the first map already within the first 3 of the second.
Yeah. And I am really enjoyed watching ENCE-vs-SPIRIT on his train CT side AWPing before. He tends to go for some aggressive plays towards the main when he feels the need to pull a round out of the hat. He likes to pull that aggressive stance off, and Alu, great reaction, gets flashed off, and just with a gnat's wing of a gap, he does manage to punish Magix. That's one of the AWPs taken down. ENCE's AWPer, we called him a win condition, has connected and given them that early man advantage.
Just want to correct myself. I said 2,700. I meant 2,900. 9 and 7, they're close to each other.
Yeah, they've got the little taily bit, fancy stuff up top. Talking of fancy stuff up top, Sergey gets one upper.
I think this might be an important theme to keep in mind for Spirit's CT side here, because we didn't get to watch a lot of their CT side over there on Inferno, but how they've dealt with losing opening picks right now is sending individuals into win heads-up duels. So if ENCE are going to milk the clock and play very slowly like this, and we're going to see people like Chopper, like Nia, needing to take attention elsewhere in the map, we're going to see the ability of ENCE to pick up a lot of free kills, or a lot of kills where if they are holding their choke points and doing their default, they should at least be favored to win those fights.
Very impressive round here from Alu. Much more like it. 3 kills to his name, but he has gone down at this point. They were all with the AWP this time, so much better scenes. As we'll see, Sumda Young desperately holding to the M4. Nice shot towards Ivy. That's about it. At this point, it's just a matter of self-preservation. Can he stay alive? Ariel covers the AWP on the floor. This is looking good, friends. 4-0 on the train. T side is very welcomed indeed, considering what happened on Inferno. Bomb to go off and 3 players to survive. The money swells. You win the round by virtue of explosion. It's $3,500 per player extra, so you can see that money increase further and further now. They'll be safe for a few rounds. Sumda Young, not really the same story. He'll have maximum loss bonus now for this round, which he'll get 3,400 on top of his 0. So we'll survive. Got 4,100 there in reserve. So with 1 saved M4 maximum loss bonus, you can buy, but it'd be like FAMASs, MP9s, maybe a scout thrown in there. Probably better off just buying Deagles around the M4.
That was a beautiful round. Single-handed victory secured by Alu as he found that 3rd frag just towards the Z before the trade could come in. Back into the action with only that M4 on Sumda Young, which he only just managed to hold on to. Let's see if it pays off for him. So now going to be throwing out the early utility to try and keep them locked in towards main. Channel towards all. Off aggression from Mir, though. The MP9 does manage to keep things level, 4-4. And a slow walk out from Sunny. It is a duel that favors him, of course, just the Deagle and disbalance, and a hard shot for him to take. Does realize the error of his ways and repositions. For healthy at the moment, 4 versus 4.
Oh, see, there's another kill offered on up, and because of the time on the clock and the fact the CTs are lower, nice shot there from ENCE. That's huge, but will they expect Sunny to be pushed forward already? He's going to get offered up a freebie, will capitalize, but now at least they know his position.
Well, 3 versus 2. ENCE has been the best member. 14 spirits so far. We'll see whether he can keep it up. As he fires off shots towards Pop Dog, that's not bad at all. And Chopper, guaranteed frag in the back. It's going to be the 5-7. Sunny left as he holds towards Ivy. Sits in the smoke for now. No utility available, but we said he was a monster on train before. Can he step up once again with 45 seconds remaining? The first kill will come in the form of ENCE. Currently towards the back of Old Bomb, but the timing works in his favor. Sunny won't fully commit to the check. But towards Ivy, there might be a kill there. If he swings towards it, though, the sniper is waiting.
He's going to get close to the wall. Try and get across. Chopper, very quick reaction. 2 from him and 2 from Disbalance. Chad, you seem rather impressed by the Disbalance frags he's pulling off there.
Yeah, well, in that kind of situation, right, they obviously have to take risks because they are up against the rifles, but the range of those duels is what's so impressive, right? To beat an AWP player who's in connector, he would about to see this fight. He knows the lines because he is an AWPer, but still to do it with an M4, and then the old bomb position looking towards Popdog, another very difficult spot to win a fight like that. So I just balanced with 2 very important kills right there.
Yeah, and it's got them back into the game as well. Just when they needed a round, you can see that we're going to have a faster approach with Sunny. The decent spawn does yield a little bit of damage there. 52 towards Sumdai Young. Converts it as well. Knows there's a second player towards the E-box. This is more like it from Sunny. This is the kind of play we want to see from this guy as he manages to get himself towards hell. They have the man advantage again, and once more we need a player from Team Spirit to step up here. What's going to be the reaction play? We've left the inside bomb site completely open. There's a rotation from Idis Balance, but that's where the bomb is heading. We are going to see that planted by X7, and the retake, nigh impossible at this stage. With the Molotov going down, open plan, I'm not sure you even go for this one considering the money's so bad.
They have 2 kits though, so what we have been seeing teams do a lot lately is just hold off in these choke points and see if the Ts want to start hunting. If they get a freebie right here, oh dear.
He checks it.
He doesn't. He doesn't. That was amazing timing there by Sergey. He could have been dead if that was a split second earlier.
And that should be enough. Yeah, they're backing away. They'll accept that this one's going the way of ENCE. And again, off the back of Sunny, 2 quick frags as he burst his way out. I liked how they found him in the end. I liked the reaction to his presence in Old Hell. Just throwing in that Molotov and having Magix just waiting to see if he would leave the corner. He did. Sergey gets himself a fresh mag for the save, and Magix and Chopper walking into the Lion's Den will take X7 down and out, and that's something. Sergey could have another bit of combat, but not to be.
They need to be careful here. Holding on to the AK-47. Not sure that was worth the push, but Bircher, what have you got for us over there?
So I had a question come in about AWP play on a map like that of Train. So I just want to highlight a couple of the key positions that you might see an AWPer on the T side watching early. This main position they can either pick on towards connector, they can pick over towards the stopper position, or even all the way down to Ivy. That's obviously very susceptible to grenades. If you want to pick from Ivy, we do see a run boost in this position to get the AWPer to pick this angle over here without the other CTs knowing, and you might see an AWPer play very passive here, just watching for aggression from the CTs. So look out for those different moves from Alu in this game.
He certainly will, and he has got his AWP this time towards the Ivy position. No run boost, but instead just hoping that a boot... Ooh, I think he caught a glimpse of Magix jumping over the edge of that smoke. Does get naded down to 79, but the game goes on as some nade damage is exchanged in return. X7 down to 76. Softened up for the M4s of Chopper, Mir, and Sumdai Young.
Well, it's all very quiet now. This is the slowest paced round we've had so far. It's going to be an inside execution from ENCE. I like this. You haven't really dropped a set piece so far. It's been lots of just defaults with opening picks from the AWP. Now you're going to drop the inside execution with one player in position, the former Sergey as well. He's confirmed the brown halls are clear. Everyone can make their way over. And a map like Train, this is okay as well. Inferno would be a little bit compromised because CTs will push around the map and get information. You won't really see that on a Train unless they push Ivy, which we've got X7 covering right now as well, making sure that's absolutely fine. And they're going for a similar approach to what we saw in Inferno. The apartments, flashbang, they'll do that towards upper ramp. They'll probably smoke connector, flash over a couple of times and just try and bail out of the upper ramp and trade out kills.
Mir is in a position to basically just catch them as they... Oh,
they're ready for this. Yeah. They know this.
Chopper does get the first, gets the bomb, the info, and survives. It could not have gone worse. 5 seconds that ends. Oh no, and now the smokes have gone wrong. Sunny will throw a replacement, and now the bullets are getting thrown at them with just 18 seconds left. Where is the bomb? It's on Sunny. He knows he dies if he descends. This round is essentially lost. What can you possibly do? 10 seconds as he stands in that smoke. He wants to get out of there.
So, Chad, I don't want to speculate too much, but for me, that's Team Spirit watching the demos of ENCE and just reading that sort of play, that the way they coordinated 2 players towards upper, especially towards top of ladder and the ramp. That's quite a common setup, but the way they did it, they were very ready to the fact there could be multiple players up there with rifles.
Yeah, considering how forward they were in yard for a lot of that round, they were normally, if you're going to be aggressive in yard, you won't be aggressive inside, right? You'll choose one of the bomb sites to retake with. So it felt there that they were hedging their bets. Like it was more than a guesstimate, you know?
Yeah.
So in that scenario right there, I liked the poise from ENCE, the fact that they didn't get flustered after they couldn't get that Ivy pick. Oh, now they're knifing out a spawn. That's we want to stay away from that as much as we can.
I hate that.
That late round situation when there was only 10 seconds left on the clock, because their economy hasn't been built up enough yet, the decision couldn't have been, hey, let's just stand and fight and take as many as we can. We're still going to lose the round, but we can hurt their economy. They had to play for this save. So Spirit within this round right here, if they convert this cleanly, if they're able to get this done with at least 4 players staying alive, this is a fantastic platform for them to start building a bank of rounds on their CT side.
Well, towards Popdog we go. That's going to be clear for now, but in terms of the defense, Mir's outside. He currently throws an Incendiary and HE combo towards main entrance. They're going to try and claim that territory. You can see the smoke down towards Pop Dog to enable them to get access to that side of the map, but it costs them their life. About a helmet, Magix will be taken down by the Glock, no less. That's quite an impressive pickup, and that kill even more so. Mo with 2, saves the round, gets the bomb down towards Pop, and then now it's just Alu, joined by Sergey, who's got a Deagle.
Wouldn't write Alu out of this one. And that's a good connection. Starting things off, Sergey will draw attention towards Ivy, and now the CTs are split between them. Goes a little early, but Alu can convert at least onto 1. Now looking certainly a whole lot more winnable than before.
With the bomb down and his position known, he is compromised, but sure, if he brings it down to a 1v1, he's got a very good chance of winning it. But how does he get that first kill? He's good at close range sniping, and that's exactly what he's going to find here. Idis with the same weapon on the other side. The HE will actually connect somewhat, and he's going to hit this. Alu doesn't miss those sort of shots. He's got a 1 versus 1 now. 15
seconds. The plant probably not likely. Mir just tucked in on the bomb train. Alu's just stampeding like an elephant, and Mir will punish. Good patience from him and a quad kill. You said they had to pick it up cleanly, Chad, but they're probably just grateful to pick it up at all after all that.
Yeah, their bank is all right. It's just now they have to reinvest, right? You saw most players there with 6 or 7K to their name, so now they're going to have to rebuy all those weapons, and it's costly. So each round at this point, for Spirit stays on that knife edge of them potentially going back down to an eco scenario. Whereas if they did keep those players alive, they can build themselves, a buffer. But the buy will come out here from ENCE. There is that compromise in X7's hand, who has gone for the Galil, so he can get that extra utility. And they are lacking a little bit. You can see Alu only has a Molotov. Ariel has nothing to his name, so maybe they'll be a little bit quicker in this round. They can't loiter around the map in the same slow-paced motion as what we had seen previously.
Stopping dead. Round 9 of our second map. A stomp for Spirit on Inferno, but does seem like ENCE have got a whole lot more to show here on our second map. Let's see if they can convert.
Yeah, problem is with this round, only 3 smokes, a few flashbangs, and 2 Molotovs. It won't be anything too technical here. Maybe more of that Wolfpack mentality towards inside we saw before. That was thwarted by the likes of Chopper, but he's out of position now. He'll be going down for sure. Caught with his pants down. For me, that's the cue to go inside, but they got to wait. Orb rotates back in, Idis balance holds towards connector. And here's the reaction from Mir. He knows he needs a bit of intel. Needs to push towards Ivy. Needs to know what's going on here, trying to get any sort of sound cue, anything he can, as Magix will join him, checking out the close right.
They're so active on the map on the CT side. I love to see it.
But they're so far removed from the action. You see
Yeah.
the bombs down towards inner. So sure, they're pushing towards inside now. They are sending
They'll
Mir
have
with
a
the
third man
M4 towards
by then.
T-spawn, but they've done well to get back in time.
Just in time.
the
Just
same
as they
player.
hit upper. And here they come. Smokes are up, but some die young. He does not go down. Second, not too easy. Alu's going to find it. Balance finally makes that orb on the defense work. However, that guise of the smoke will keep another heart beating for ENCE on this retake. It's 2 versus 3 and looking rather impossible. From behind, it's Mir, anticipated and at this point held by Sunny.
I don't think Mir could do enough here. That opening kill was everything. Sunny, though, looking very sharp right now on train. Idis balance, the AWP, probably the worst weapon for the job. He'll have to start falling back any second now. He knows there's a player towards the lower ramp. Wants to get him before he goes down. If anything, that might just cost him his life. Trying to fall back, scrambling now, and there it is. It will be ENCE to pick up another 6-3 on their T side of train. Sergey saves the AWP, 2 kills to his name, 9 in total. And the money should be broken on the CT side. We've got Chopper with 2,300. There's a buy there, Chad, but this is like timeout territory. Discuss your options, but as we mentioned, probably won't see many timeouts considering this is online.
Yeah, I want to point out ENCE leaning towards this high ramp late as opposed to the low ramp. I think something to note here is the rotation points coming on through. If you have to swing and take a fight against 3 or 4 players high ramp from connector, that's quite a scary fight. Whereas if you get to swing and you get to post up and fight low ramp, you know they're filtering into the bomb site and they don't have the high ground advantage over you. So that could be one of the reasons we're seeing so many out high ramp, but it will be a buy round, and the Augs have come out in replacement for those AWPs.
Why is my MAC-10 not work like that? Long range spray for Sunny.
The lack of helmets that's really doing Spirit in there, but they've only given up 1 kill so far. X7 and Alu. Definitely a chance to win this. The M4 becomes a lot more powerful as well, the lack of helmets on the CT side. But in terms of positioning, it's Alu ready and waiting. So good in these sort of scenarios. Make a mistake, he'll capitalize upon it almost every single time. His teammate can't do much. There's no flashes, no smokes. He's waiting for the flanks, and that's fine. You've got a minute on the clock here. Might as well explore your options. The smoke does give up his position somewhat, but allows him to focus more towards the bomb train.
Oh, Magix is even flirting with the idea of pushing through it, changes his mind, realizes no need to give any early advantage to the limited T side. Just 2 members for ENCE. Molotov towards the bomb train. X7 closing in to try and take these fights. Alu tucking in on E-Box, but he's lost his comrade now, and so a 1 versus 4 does feel like a little too much of a tall order. First frag found, Disbalance falls, and a second quick reaction. Chopper's gone. Oh! So is Sumdai Young. Alu flying to secure this one for ENCE. 1 remains in a phenomenal, almost impossible clutch scenario. He sees him and hits him, no less.
Oh my God.
Magix, 50 caliber round in his ankle, but he secures it for Spirit.
That's insane. How did he not win it? It looked like he was absolutely locked in there. Alu spots the final player, lands the shot after hitting 3 showstoppers, but still it wasn't quite enough. This is what we wanted to see on Inferno. We got nothing. Jeez. Not a single orb kill delivered. We'll see this from Magic's point of view. He gets a shot in the ankle and survives after 3 successful orb kills were found. And you can see what it does. The knock, sure, you don't win the round, but the knock-on effect is tremendous for both teams. MP9's out and 3s for Team Spirit. There's Deagles, there's CZ, there's an outside push. Sumdai Young is scrapping towards the main entrance there. He does find the first kill, but there's a lot more to handle here going forward. We've got players towards Ivy. A lot of noise there coming through. That's going to be a kill, though, the Org. Magix should calm things down at this stage. I don't see a world where ENCE can fight their way back into the round of a single AK, but they'll certainly give it a good go. Lots of footsteps towards Upper. Chopper more than happy to greet them upon arrival, and that's going to be a 5-on-1.
Assuming Sunny goes down, and he will, that is the 2nd clean round so far for Team Spirit on this CT side. Now, if you're a new viewer to Counter, Train is a map that is CT-sided, just like Inferno was CT-sided. You would be hoping to post at least 9 rounds. Right. So the fact that ENCE have already got 6 would mean that Team Spirit need to go clean for the rest of this game here. And that is a good step in the right direction, being able to win another round in that regard, because before that, we only had 2 players survive, 1 player survive, 1 player survive with that almost Alu clutch. They need to build this buffer.
And remember, that was a forced buy from ENCE as well. So we have a full eco coming up for exit. So this is a very good chance now to keep all 5 players alive. And you'd think the MP9s, not great weapons for this stage of the game, but actually they'll be able to farm a lot of money against these Glocks, take some risks, and they wouldn't even care if they died at this point. We're coming to the last few rounds of the game. You get 2 or 3 kills with the MP9 and die. You don't want that gun going forward, so that's okay. That's why Chopper's so up close to this stage, but he might find himself in a bit of trouble. Finds the first kill. $600 in the bag. Regardless, now we'll be able to buy out fully into the next round if he dies. So we'll see if they can keep this up. So they can rotate players towards outside, of course. That's confirmed that inside is completely covered. And it should just be a matter of time before hopefully the MP9s find the majority of the kills. 2 kills there, and we said it would be nice if it's a clean round, which it absolutely is. Speaking of money going forward, though, chaps, no cash for ENCE, really. No orbs available, just the very basics here. The AKs, the smokes, the flashes. That's about it. So
what's been working for them so far is this like spread, right? Alu obviously finding some impact with that AWP in certain rounds was good, but it was more of this, hey, let's go as a team, to an area, try and find a kill, and then we can move around the map and execute late if we have to. I expect potentially a pace change here.
It does look like they're going to be flashing Aerial out. Disbalance to contest. It's a hard shot, but not for him. Catching Aerial before he could make it to Olof, and now that early first blood has been returned, and then some. X7 and Sunny standing proudly outside the site. It's Sumdai Young to try and win the crucial duel, and now Chopper, yes, his opponents are wounded, but there's 4 of them, and he's on the wrong side of the map. This is ENCE's 7th.
Yeah, you want to see that change of pace. There it is. ENCE managing to bully their way towards outside, and Chopper, nothing he can really do here. The solo orc towards inside will have nothing to say about this one. And you can see ENCE had to battle their way through that one. The amount of damage they took upon arrival, the grenades, the incendiaries landing, it was successful for Team Spirit, but great shots from ENCE does enable them to get the bomb down. It's a 4 versus 1, and they'll take the lead no less on the T side of train here, 7-6. Most notable on the score table so far, I guess X7, 3 and 7, but the fact they're up 7-6 doesn't really matter in that regard. Everyone fragging pretty equally for Team Spirit. Would like to see a bit more of ID's balance, to be honest with you. See him have some Alu moments himself. But there it is. Round confirmed. ENCE take the lead. But we did say Team Spirit have a decent buffer of cash after winning that full eco, so they should have another buy here. So you can see 1 minute 35, and X7's on the bomb, taking the 3rd opponent down. So that just shows the change of pace there pretty much on the screen for you.
Night and day.
That's where, as well, that clean round we were talking about for Team Spirit comes in, because now they can get another gun round on the board. However, they too now have almost spent through all of their cash. So this is the crunch time of a half, and if you're Team Spirit, you never want to find yourself in this situation on the CT side. It means going into the last round of the game, you are potentially on a scrappy pistol by CZs, you know, maybe a scout.
Right.
It's going to look pretty horrible if they're unable to pick this one up right here.
So this is their chance to win the CT half of Train. Just balance aggressive AWPing. We talked about it. He likes to take the fight to main. And now he's got a teammate to take this second fight with him.
Double AWP setup working out quite nicely so far, but that's the opening pick they are very happy to find. Alu removed. Sunny knows he can grab the AWP, but they seem to be aware of his position. Recovers the AK-47. And the CTs are full back. They've got a massive advantage here. Shad's already laid down the implication of this round. You give this one up, you're full eco going forward. So need to be very careful, work together, no risk to be taken. Molotov down, but sometimes just to put them into this corner so then they can start peppering them with flashbangs, grenades deep as well. You can see how that's working out quite nicely. Someday drops down, but he gets the double kill. The totem drop once again fails, and it's a 4 versus 2. Make it 5 on 2 with Someday Young still alive.
More like totem flop.
Totem flop, exactly, Alex. That's the kind of stuff we brought you in for. More of that, please.
More of that coming, Hank. For now, Sunny will go down, and therefore this round does start to level out. We talked about just how crucial this was for Spirit, and it looks all too good. X7's the only one that could change the odds, swing it back in favor of ENCE, but with 25 seconds, no bomb, no hope, really. Instead, just going to try and take another with him. He can't, and so with 4 still standing, Spirit do manage to equalize in pursuit of winning the half.
Wow, what a final round of the half it'll be. There is a full buy for ENCE available to them. They had a great start. Remember, 4-0 up to kick things off after winning the pistol, which came down to the minutiae, Chad. The fact there was Team Spirit lock-in. The smoke down, the defuse there, 1 second ago. They got saved by the bell. The last bullet of the Glock is delivered, and they found themselves a good place.
Ali's got this spawn. I think he's been thrown that AWP instead of X7 being given something, so he's going to go charging towards Ivy. See if he can find any early first blood. We'll peek over his flame. There's already a CT there, and my goodness. He's taken 96% of magics out the round. And with just 4 HP, he stands his ground, and that's so mad.
Yikes.
X7 jumping for info and gets more than information. He gets lead in his head, now dead, and Someday Young is looking to try and challenge on this E-box. 2 out, rather uncontested at this moment. ENCE are getting chipped away at. Another for Mir.
Really nice round here so far from Spirit after losing their first bit of damage as well. It looks like it's a convincing finish in round number 15. They will win out the half, and Alu still is alive and kicking. This time can't hit the second shot. It will be Team Spirit getting their way back into this half after what looked like a complete disaster. 4-0 down. It finishes at 8-7 on the half. It's the map pick of ENCE, and they're looking much better, especially Alu, who's finally landing some impressive shots there. I want to see more of that, and I want to see more of the same from Midas Balance as well, who did most of his work with the M4. We'll take a break and see whether Team Spirit can finish this in a 2-0 fashion.
One fight, but it's not the end. So get back up and fight again. Take one step
to CT side of Train. So that could be a bit of a problem. Not even any AUGs were able to be afforded right now.
And an AUG is a weapon that's dropped out of fashion as of late, but still on Train, super viable.
Yeah.
Same story of Nuke as well. Lots of long-range duels. You've got the scope benefit as well. Use gaps in the smokes. So yeah, very indicative as to where they're at right now. Even with the full save in the second round, it's a compromise by a best of no kits here, up against a pretty well-equipped Team Spirit. They've got the AUG. They've got the AK-47s, a cheeky Krieg, and all the smokes and Molotovs they could ever ask for here. So they're absolutely fine taking a slow round. They know the money's going to be low on the CT side, so let's bleed out some of that utility. Let's get rid of the incendiaries, the smokes. Do they potentially have an AWP? Time will tell, but at this point, absolutely not. Idis Balance will just be showing presence towards Ivy. That's one of the key smokes gone now. So there's 2 remaining on the CT side with 1 minute 20 on the clock. Still 5 smokes to Team Spirit, just to know that. So they're very aware of what's up against them right now.
I hope we do see a yard play. A lot of teams these days are starting to lend, especially on the first gun. Oh, this is the flop again.
It never seems to work.
The totem flop every time.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think so many people are ready for it now. It doesn't surprise you. In the way it was early days, you see 2 guys dropping down pop dog on each other's head, you freak out a little bit, right? But once you play against that a lot in practice and you know, okay, yeah, we even do it, you know what it looks like, you feel it from the T side perspective, you become more comfortable with that. So defending against it, the whole pop dog, and I think a lot of pros would attest to this, is one of the biggest utility picking mind game positions over any map. Just the way that you can learn a player's tendencies and he knows that you know his tendencies. So now he's playing a different, it's crazy.
I don't even know if this is correct, and here I go putting myself out there. I did see Chopper lose 2 health, and I thought I heard someone take full damage sound effect. I don't know if he deliberately was trying to make the feign that someone had gone down pop poorly, because as they came in to sweep it, they were checking their close corners, perhaps trying to make sure Crosshairs were not expecting that totem drop. A quick reaction, did manage to overcome it, but could have been a nice little nuance added to their pop take.
Yeah, 2 CTs in pop dog is actually quite common these days. It's a very powerful setup if you can get it established. You can have one player focusing towards a ladder drop, one towards main entrance. It can fall apart, but if you time it well and you have the information, you can get the double spray down like we just saw, and it will be ENCE posting a very promising round here on their CT side. It's going to be the first of the half as we go 10-8. The first tactical timeout of the day. Remember, they're playing online, especially Team ENCE, who are at a boot camp facility, I'd assume somewhere in Finland. Not sure about Team Spirit. I assume they're playing from home, but that is wild speculation from my side. But timeout, just to discuss what's happened so far. The money's not in a great position going into this next round. There is a buy there, but not everything they need. So they've got a buffer of rounds, so they could take a partial buy, try and get that bomb planted, and then come back. Time will tell, but either way, it's a good chance to discuss their options. Alu with 16 kills, just to note, barely got anything done on Inferno, so good to see him bounce back. They've gone for the Hero AWP. I believe that was dropped by Chopper. So he's got Tech 9 and armor, unless he bought that himself. And then Idis Balance with the AWP, and then they've got 3 Glocks around it. That's an
interesting buy,
strange.
isn't it?
Okay, they've gone for...
Okay, they're fully invested.
It's a full investment, okay.
Why take the time out then invest after freeze time? I don't get it, but it's fine.
Especially with something that you want to do quickly, right? Because look at this, they're trying to get Chopper out into main to draw the attention to potentially open up a pick here for Idis Balance over the smoke. So this could work if they get a little bit too inquisitive.
It's a nice idea. The Tech 9, we don't see it too often, but there it is. It strikes first, and that's going to be X7 removed. So now they can slow things right down again. Remember, they've got the AWP. They don't need to pounce here. Wait to see what kind of CT reactions come through. We've got Magix. For me, the most important player of the map right now. He's got it towards the end of Ivy. No one's watching that position. If he sneaks out, they're in a lot of trouble. There is a reposition from Alu, but only with the M4, remember. Big kill. Ding towards Sunny. He might be going down here. He'll get one, and somehow he's still alive. I have no idea. It's when the Pot Dog aerial will save him. The AWP's starting to miss some shots now. 5 HP as ENCE take the lead.
Chopper has done so much for that one. A dink, and of course the opening kill, and it continues. Finally, Chopper's hard work pays off. It's Sundai Young's Krieg that he bought in the closing stages of that buy time. Does find the double kill. Now Sergey has got a real chance to clutch it.
Is that the first yellow card for Rush? We did miss 2 kills there.
Whoa!
You're gonna
all right.
I'm trying my best, I am.
Okay.
A lot of stuff was going on. I was trying. I don't know what to say, you know.
Okay.
I'll get these 2. Watch.
Yeah, I hope he nades them, Rush. So you just have to follow the
I can
nade.
do that. I like a good follow cam.
Yeah, that's sexy.
All right, you guys focus on your job. I'll do mine.
Okay, no worries, man. Good to hear from you. Let's see what Sergey can do here. He has got a good chance. He spots the first, did he not?
I don't think they spotted him, that's for sure.
I don't think he did. He'd have his crosshair.
They're planning back the bomb. He's going to get the double. He's going to get the double.
Oh, okay. Oh, that stopper. Heart stopper. That's what that is. My God, Sergey does find the double kill. We'll see some Die Young's two-piece right here. Nice second into aerial, but there, see the spray bouncing off of the metal.
I'm so nervous for him.
Yeah, that's a horrible feeling.
Imagine if he loses that round. That would be done.
Timeout. They take a timeout. They're next to each other, but they take one.
Unplug your mouse and keyboard and go home.
Needless to say, though, Chad, that is a massive round for them to pick up. That is huge.
Yes.
It's colossal. Let's put Team Spirit now down to an eco, full eco. All they've invested in was a Zeus. No armor, no nades, no upgraded pistols, just a limp towards inside and try and get the bomb planted, which actually might happen. You just need one kill. Barely even that sometimes. You can get the bomb down. I doubt it will, considering the nice setups.
Rotation.
Yeah, it looks like they're ready to go. You got Alu with the AWP connector. You got Sergey with the M4. He'll fight tooth and nail to deny that bomb.
Full Ivy control as well.
Good spray. Bomb does manage to get down to the site, but there's a nade on top of his noggin, and so this one is all said and done. I did see a flash of lightning. Zeus throwing a lightning bolt down from the clouds, but no, not going to connect, and it's going to go 10-10, keeping it level. A nice stark contrast from our opening map of this series.
So in the first map that we saw of Inferno, Spirit were able to be very regimented about their approach, right? They could grab banana control, they were able to execute, they had some nice snappy plays. Here we haven't seen enough rounds to see what they're trying to develop, but it's a much harder map to secure map control and work it the same way as an Inferno. So if they don't have any decent T-side openings to get them space, like what we saw from Chopper on that round they almost won earlier, then they're going to be in a bit of bother.
So I like this setup. You have the AWP waiting at the end of Ivy. As soon as it fires a shot or gets in the aggro, that's when X7 will swing around and try and cause as much carnage as possible. That won't be happening, unfortunately. You can see Team Spirit are setting up for an inside execution. This will be two smokes going in. You have one towards connector, one between the bomb site and the actual transition position itself. Flashes over. That's about it. They might even go for any smoke. I think they've got one set up for connector. In it goes, flashes go in. Sergey should be able to get multiple kills here. Good damage from the incendiary will enable Sunny to get the second. So much damage inflicted though. Round done. Really nice work from Sunny.
That transition, beautiful work. Sergey, of course, just did his very best to make sure that Molotov went down, that incendiary. To correct myself, just throwing that down early. If you take that fight, you are going to be burning to a crisp. And Sunny, let's see this third kill. This is lovely pre-fire, but that's just straight muscle memory. Great work.
Impressive. Like, that incendiary is everything. I mean, Sunny can just focus on that first kill, knowing they can't flood through that area, turns around, catches the players, pushing down towards the sidewalk, and then the third. Beautiful. Stellar shot towards upper, and at this point, it will be a full eco. Team Spirit just Eagles, no armor, and if ever doesn't matter, find a few one digs. Train could be it. Thank you, Irish fans, for showing me how it can be done. I knew I was onto something there.
All right, Henry. Got anything else for us in this round?
Maybe another Deagle kill.
Oh, no. Oh, wow, disbalance, man. He's like world edit, but he can do it with a Deagle as well.
And a little bit more consistent.
And a little more consistent. Yeah, he sets records and then but the opposite of that is Alu, however, keeping his AWP more consistent as he has been here on Train throughout, closing in on 20 frags. And despite Disbalance's best efforts, this will go the way many anticipated. Just going to be ENCE collecting their 12th, one frag away from doing so.
We have it.
I wouldn't say this is like last chance saloon right now for Team Spirit in this map, but definitely with how clean that this last slew of rounds have been for ENCE, I would say unless they can make one competitive on a gun round, that's just a pre-fire. That's ridiculous.
So, from what I can see on your screen, Chad, in the last 5 rounds, ENCE have only given up 6 kills.
Yeah, which means that bank is built very nicely. This is what I was talking about for Spirit in that first half. So ENCE here have a buffer. Even if they lose one, they get an opportunity to adjust and then go into that next gun round fully stocked. So they don't feel pressure right now.
Like to see that.
This guy.
He's just like, it's a perfect example of just how nerdy we've gotten, you know? Like,
did you see that one in Kenny at Katowice where he managed to hit that shot and then got a second wallbang as well? He got no kills and no information, but he did like 50 damage to 2 players at the start of the round. Like that. Pretty insane.
He just has no idea. Chip damage or unconfirmed damage. Lots of that. Let's see how round 23 does shape up as they're all gathered.
Same approach we saw from ENCE, this upper focus with 3 players towards outside and the CT forces, quite up close and personal as well.
He messed it up. He was trying to transition onto oil. Doesn't cost him in the end. He still holds the line in time, and now 2 frags in quick succession. Alu done almost all he has to. A second perfect incendiary. Choppers flash by X7. This is much better from ENCE, but it's not quite over yet. Magix pays quite the price to continue his aggression over the flames. He does it again. And now can get that bomb down. Nice route.
Yeah, that's all he really wants to do at this point. They haven't even got close to a bomb plant, and ENCE-vs-SPIRIT is a good shot so far, but that one had to connect to give them a fighting chance in the round. They'll have to win a 3 versus 1 at this point. A nice shot towards Aerial, that's about it, but once again, completely shut down, and Alu, perfect position there, Chad. So they were trying to hope on, or bank on the fact that the AWP would be in connector.
Yeah.
They've smoked connector, they've smoked by the bomb train, they've flooded 3 players out towards upper, but he's in the position where he's not flashed, he's just watching them come out, essentially.
It's actually lucky that he missed that, that swing, because if he was in that position, he would maybe get 1 and then have to fall to a more passive line, meaning that the rotators coming in would be in a bit more trouble. But the fact that he could reposition, hide, then repick and go for another kill, he ended up in almost the best position he possibly could there.
Absolutely. He's got 22 kills as well.
This is the man we wanted to see.
This is the guy we know and love. And I'm not sure why we didn't get him an Inferno, but if they can close out Train, it'll be all be forgiven as we move into round number 24. It's a bye for Team Spirit. You can see Mir and Disbalance with no grenades between them, no sniper rifle, and Someday Young will have to fall back from the main entrance. Does dodge damage though. Incendiary deployed towards Ivy. Run boost as well.
20 past 4 lies the time. Live from Cologne. 13-10, the score. The players playing at home. Let's see.
Lots of utilities just being used from both teams so far. We're going to see them almost max out, probably just under a minute here.
It's Mirage as a third, right?
Yes, which I would say starts to favor the CIS team.
I wouldn't be surprised, or perhaps there's more surprises, twists and turns in Train. 3 rounds away from ENCE, taking us to Mirage, and yet this time Sunny trying to take an ill initiative. It costs him his life.
2 dinks there. It's very unfortunate. It goes to show you why you pick up the T weaponry on the CT side. They managed to outduel their opponents there, essentially. Hit 2 M4 headshots, but it doesn't work out for them. Mir and ENCE-vs-SPIRIT low, but still a 5-on-3. A fighting chance for Aerial. As he makes way towards main entrance, Sergey gets 1 kill. He'll have to find a few more, though, to stand a chance in the round. 4 versus 2. Alu, Sergey alone, and somehow doesn't get that kill. I couldn't tell you how, and it will be Team Spirit keeping 3 players alive. Or 4 with
the strange thing here is that Sergey has 17 kills to his name. It's not that I've felt that he's been like underperforming as an individual. It was the moment in that 2v1 clutch where I almost fluffed the spam, and there it felt like he had almost another sitter, right? So a couple of ones have gone missing for Sergey so far, but I think that point that Henry made was huge, right? The fact that they got the initial dink, it means that they reacted quicker, right? The Krieg was able to come on through and be the more superior weapon here, as we all know and love at the moment. But that was just a round where maybe ENCE over-committed with that utility early. They didn't have a lot left.
Well, they had plenty of money, at least, going into round number 25. 13-11. They win this one. They're in a very good position to close it out. Money just won't be there. And the grenade and spammage coming in from Sunny is fantastic there. No assist. You can see that was all him. 5 versus 4 with Magix down to just 45 points of health as well. So what's the reaction? They've got 2 smokes, a few Molotovs, no map control, and they'll start a little gambit towards the Ivy position. But no one's going to be challengers in the CT side. Exactly that. Alu doesn't need a kill towards Ivy. He doesn't have to take that risk. Run down the clock. They can drop an incendiary there. They have to. They can drop a smoke there with Alu's position as well. So as soon as he detects him on the other side, smoke it. You've bought yourself 20 seconds towards Ivy. He'll be dropping that as soon as he gets his first kill. That's when he drops the smoke. We'll see if that comes into fruition. First kill comes in now. Apparently not. All right. Good stuff from Team Spirit. They shouldn't have had a say in this round, but they're right back into it.
The real shot now, 40 seconds. The bomb is loose, and it is still towards main, so that's going to be the job now of Disbalance. And already he's dealing with one rather aggressive and vicious Aerial tucked in on Old Hell. 30 seconds. Time's going to become a factor, and I think Aerial actually can still stand his ground, and that molly's burning will go down. Disbalance makes sure of that. Someday Young does get the frag, and now it's to get that bomb to the site. They've got 20 seconds to complete their mission, and Sergey is going to try and be the fly in the ointment, going towards Ivy, and that cross has been made already. Won't be able to punish just yet. Maybe tap away at the toes. Does catch Someday Young, can't transfer. Disbalance with 10 seconds to spare ensures that bomb's down.
They are enjoying planting the open. I have to say that much, but ENCE-vs-SPIRIT will be closing things out there. An absolutely massive round for our Team Spirit to pick up. That would have been the game for me. They lose that one, there'd be no money going forward. It'd been 14-11 at this stage, but managing to come back from the initial damage inflicted by Sunny. He did over 200 damage. He got the first kill. ENCE-vs-SPIRIT, an incredibly difficult 1v1. They almost dropped the ball there in the 2-on-1 again. Open plant with a smoke available as well. I'm not sure why they didn't smoke the site and plant within that. But either way, they win, and we find ourselves in round number 26 here. Money's still good for ENCE. This will be the final buy with no kits, just to notice, from Chad Birchall there.
Yeah, looking at the little details right now. So this one is a scary situation if it becomes a post-plant like we saw in Inferno a lot. So far, these rounds have been playing out in a bit closer fashion. Now, ENCE-vs-SPIRIT and Alu were the two names we mentioned to find the prowess with the AWP. For ENCE-vs-SPIRIT in the second half, I've been more enjoying the work he's been doing with the Krieg, the SG, than that. He's hit some decent AWP shots, but his influence so far, especially that round right there, was with the SG. So let's see if he can still get it done now that we've got, I guess, a standard constellation of weapons, AWP on each side, 4 rifles.
But no kits and a distinct lack of utility for the CTs. The longer this round goes on, the more difficult it becomes.
This is the duel right here.
ENCE-vs-SPIRIT is holding quite a passive angle.
Yeah, but he shouldn't go further in that corner. Exactly that one there, but it's a pre-fire. You can wallbang that. They'll check this still. Definitely will check it. So trade will come in. It's a good spot. Once you start getting wallbanged there and checked, it's very difficult to get more than one kill, which he just displayed.
I don't know how many people caught that, but Sunny turning from the flash actually turned into the flash. The flash landed behind him.
Oh dear.
So that him in that instance of turning back and forth, even if he wasn't blind, the timing there was
flawless.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I love that.
Still winnable here for X7. Another one and done position, but if it's overlooked, there is a chance. He needs 2 kills here, 3 fires, is hoping for the best. Didn't work out for him. Alu's still alive, though. We've seen what he's capable of, and this is the moment he can step up. Good Molotov.
Great.
Yeah, what can he really do here? Nice grenade in response. Should do some damage. More than that. Down at 68, some die young. 3-on-2, but the CTs with no kits.
Save.
For no kits, Chad, remember, they shouldn't go for this, but I guess at the backtracks, you're safe at least to look for some kills.
Yeah. Jinx, buy me a code. Gonna be just Valence who doesn't have to contribute anything into this round himself. It was Chopper who, once again, does seem to be somewhat of a leader by example. He does just tend to be the first one out, charging in and drawing blood. 2 kills from him during that IV exchange. Spirit have a real shot now. After avoiding what looked to be a guaranteed third map with that 1v1. They have a shot to take ENCE down a peg, but also to get a huge W in the first day of play here in Pro League. This is the second frag from Chopper, towards main. I said Ivy. This was the second kill towards Ivy. Lovely catch.
X7's in such a difficult position there, right? Because the thing is, they know where he is. None of his teammates are really able to help him because they have already lost opening kills. So for him to continue to shoot, you might think, well, he can't see anybody. But he's expecting an individual to swing, right? He's hedging in that situation.
So they've gone for the partial buy here, which is fine. They've saved the AWP, they've saved the M4, they've gone for some CZs, PD50s. I would put this in the remit of an eco, to be fair with you. But when you've got Alu with an AWP and an M4 up as well, you have a good chance of winning the round. It's just going to take something a little bit more, a little bit different, a little bit more aggressive, perhaps.
Something like this.
So X7 with the Zeus on the ladder. I actually like that a lot. Go for it. It's not great, but it was a good idea. And all the chaos, Ariel get pushed towards inside with Sergey. A nice idea. That's a pretty cool little setup. Doesn't work out for them, but if he gets that Zeus kill and then the inside push comes in then, I dare say they win the round. Like, there would be so much carnage going on with a Zeus kill coming through. The CZ push would have been great. We should steal that one for our play.
Yeah, actually, that does seem to work.
Chad, you buy the Zeus. You sit on the ladder. Alex and I'll get ready to push inside.
Okay.
You go out the ladder, miss the Zeus shot, we swing round.
Yeah, I'll take the MP9. Chad, you can have the M4 for sure.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
When do we get to play Vertigo again?
Oh, I just want to play Counter-Strike, man.
It's going to be, well, it's maybe a couple of days.
Yeah, we did hear some good news.
There's some gaming PCs for the Lancashire lads coming in.
Oh, God.
That would be big.
0 hours in the last 2 weeks, boys. I am I'm gagging
I'm
for
rusty to say the
You
least.
really need it, because if we like throw you up against like Harry or Hugo or Trace, we're gonna need something from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Get me in the DMs.
They like gamers. Yes.
Harry
they play a
and
lot
Hugo
more than us.
Love it. To be fair, they are about 19 years of age, so.
Yeah, that's about when I was doing my impressive 8,000 hours of competitive COD 4.
Yeah, see, it's when you had the bug, you know, when you're getting up every day and you're just grinding.
Or it's 4 a.m. and you've just been in a strat server lining up smoke grenades with aerials and for 3 hours straight.
We can't say too much on it, but there'll be something soon, Alex, where you won't have to spend more than 60 seconds looking for a smoke or a flash very soon.
What did Chad?
That is huge. Okay, so we need to talk about that. That's a really big kill, taking away the AWP. He will still be able to afford one, but it's not about having the big green. It's about what he's missing. So now he's going to have to make emissions with utility, maybe armor, depending on what type of a buy that he wants to go for just here.
What money does Alu have right now?
I think it was 5,300.
Okay, so he can definitely buy the AWP. But they're good tactical timeout. First one used by ENCE. So Sixer. Twister can come in now. Sixer is a French player. He's been away for a while. Twister, not Sixer.
Blanc.
If he was there, that would be very strange. Alu has gone for the AWP. It is not going to be the glass cannon, but as good as. He's got Kevlar, AWP, no helmet, no kit, no nades. So he'll have to step up. Might want to go for a more aggressive pick at the start. I would like an upper ramp pick, potentially this round. Where's his spawn at right now? Not great. Probably not going to happen. He's middle of the pack, so maybe go towards Connect to get boosted up. That could be something. Or go for an aggressive main entrance pick like we saw from Midas Balance in the first half. Time will tell. Many options. Can't really tell which one will happen. I'd like the boost and Connect. I think that'd be a cool one. Just to throw it in there. Good 1.5. We'll see where he wants to go.
Crouch aerial, I dare you. First opportunity, first order of business is to call that cross. The T-Smoke will obscure his view for now. However, that's not where the body of the assault is coming from. Aerial actually choosing to get that information immediately. Look at him go. It's supportive. Molotov, immediately they have the info that there is nothing set up on main, and the reaction from the CTs at this point in time is to try and let's go for a 3-2 split. They will have two responsible for inner now.
Do you just see how much respect those two smokes from Team Spirit just bought from ENCE, right? They had to get main control. They couldn't risk it being a fast outplay. They had to contest in that moment. And using extra utility while Aerial was pushing into main means now to defend, that was a minute 30. We're down to a minute now. To defend, they only have a little bit of utility left.
And the CT's got nothing from that push really. They confirmed, it's clear at that point, but now they don't know whether they're coming from that position. They have to sit in the pop dog. We saw this word before, remember? This was a nice setup, but if they give the totem drop, they need both kills. That's what they're going for again. So here comes a flashbang, and it's a creep down this time. Instead of dropping, they've creeped down the ladder themselves. Now, Chad, correct me if I'm wrong. Have they done the totem drop with one player creeping on the ladder and one with full accuracy on top of his head? Is that what they just went for?
How did Chopper get that kill?
Would be, I think that's a crazy suggestion, but I'm saying that could have what just happened.
We might need to readdress that one.
Can we have a replay? If that's what they've done, that's insane. But I don't think it's what they did do, but it looked like they did.
I can do my best here. We don't have Counter-Strike.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I know what
the
you
guy
mean.
creeping down and you have accuracy
and you're on top of his head.
And he crawls down for you. He gives you a platform and you drop on top of that.
Like he's a moving elevator platform.
And you're above the flames. You're not getting burned. And then you drop down and kill. That would be, for me, that's like next level. I don't think that's what happened, but if it did, Chad's got on the screen now.
We're about to catch it in a moment as Team Spirit are going to pick up this round because ENCE are going to be saving here.
I think it was just a shot on the ladder, if I'm honest, because it will happen at that range. But we'll see.
If we could just bring Skybox up, please, in the back.
He still cool holds on.
Alex has just noticed, he has got his AWP still.
So we can play this quickly. This is about to go down. This Molotov here is about to clear.
Sonny sat behind the flames. He was
They're both behind the flames here. So hopefully this is quick enough before we get back into the action. And they are on each other's heads. It was. It was exactly as you were saying. He stayed on his head.
Above the flames, not taking damage and getting accuracy.
All right, we can get back in the game. Thank you for that.
Get that on Reddit. Let's have something good on Reddit. Let's do that.
Oh, we had Chopper's POV as well, did we?
That's a cool one.
Oh, cool. Anyway, gonna get the fast molly, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop Magix. In fact, he's full blind and dead, and now the round is essentially over. Working with 3, disbalanced, Sumdai Young and Chopper, just losing 3 prongs of their assault.
So it looks pretty hopeless at this point right now. But if I'm Sumdai Young and I'm Chopper, I would not rush this round.
No, do as much damage as you possibly can. Keep this sort of buy going forward.
Yep, that's exactly right. There's no rush here. There's no need to force the situation. If they're going to offer you up free kills, you can take them, and you want to limp on it. This is great. If he stays in a position...
Not bad.
That was great. That's the AWP.
Something, and Chopper could very well take that Krieg out of X7's hands. He's very close, 1 bullet from doing so, but he'll choose to readdress. And so now Chopper's going to play a fun game of Find the Fin. as many as he can.
So just trying to cause any sort of financial damage here.
Oh, misses.
Ambitious makes 7 now with the low HP. Should be fine though. Don't see a world where they give up another kill. We're going right down to the wire here, round 30. Money available, 14 Spirit. They can drop a couple of weapons if required. Chopper and Disbalance at 9k apiece. 20 kills for Disbalance, 27 for Alu, 21 for Ariel as well. So players we wanted to see step up, starting to pay dividends. Sergey, decent numbers as well, 18. So if ENCE loses 2-0, though, this will all be in vain. They do need to win this round.
Yeah, and before everybody...
A good performance is not anything to write home about.
X7's had some difficult positions on the map. He also had Impact winning them the pistol round in the first half. So he's not doing great at the moment, but if you look back and you look at his individual positioning and stuff, maybe there's a reason for that. The fact he stood around there. The CT will try and spam you back in that position, right? Yeah. You're going to hang around there?
But he was like moving out of position and then back into it to ensure he couldn't get counterbanged. He's playing the game. He's living life.
This is an inside all-in. This is what this looks like right now.
Why not? On this sort of round, you do full execution. No one can get picked off one by one. At least you know you dropped your set piece, your strategy. And it was Alu who shut them down before him. The backtracks wasn't flash at all. They sent 3 players out towards upper. The bomb is there. That's a smoke towards connector. One for the left-hand side. Flash for Sunny. That might be the game. That might be the game.
Oh, that could be a disaster. Sunny misses his shots. The spray he committed to it. Fortunately, no one paying attention to Alu as he finds one. Disbalance, however, catches Ariel, cuts him down to size on Z. A bit of a problem.
They're not volleying towards connector at all. Alu had a chance for a second, but still a 4-on-3. There's the Molotovs coming in now. They have got kits as the retreat comes through. It looks like we might be done here. Sergey and Alu with it all to play for him. Alu getting banged at the start of the round as well. 52 HP. And now, time ticking away.
Sergey got so much to do. They're holding all the right angles and just one man to try and save the day. He's done it many times. He gets another chance, but it's Magic's to confirm it. Spirit, they arrive to the Pro League with quite the bang and best ENCE in 2-0 fashion. Phenomenal stuff up against an ENCE that woke up in the second.
After being down 4-0, I think it was, well, I think went to 5-1. It was actually pretty unbelievable. ENCE looked like they were back. They were looking very good going forward as well. But Team Spirit started to wake up. Disbalance started to show us what he is made of. So did Alu. He had absolutely nothing to say on Inferno, but he looked fantastic here on Train. It was a very entertaining series, went right down to the wire. But unfortunately for ENCE, that will be a difficult start to their campaign here in EPL. A 0-2 to kick things off. And Team Spirit impressing us, to say the least. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with, I guess, the analyst desk. That'll be us very shortly.
me, I'll blow up. Doing talent shows and man, everyone will show up. Got in an accident and still made it for them to go nuts. You know what? I'm so what? I'm so That means I can't describe the way I vibe, the way I slide in with the rhymes that make the dimes. I'll close their eyes and fantasize. Young Divine calling their phone number. No, you know I love it. And you know me, I can't sleep without blazing beats. On stages for that one's gracefully. And I got a smile that they hate to see. Young, black, successful, though life gets stressful. Though life gets stressful.
Spirit with the victorious Spirit, a 2-0 versus the Finns ENCE. They have certainly been looking shaky, but Train does seem to be the Finns finding some degree of form. Team Spirit do overcome them, though, in a full 30-round game, and it is exceptional. My absolute honor, of course, to introduce you to the Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Power Plays. It's where we take the opportunity to highlight the very best plays made during the game. And, of course, we've got a list, and I'll hazard a guess that actually, despite the loss, a couple of ENCE names show up in this one, boys.
I hope so. Not from the first map, necessarily, I would say. But here's Chopper, a name that certainly did deliver on all fronts. His AK-47 work was fantastic, Chad. Really enjoyed what he was putting down today.
Yeah, that was a bit of a destruction on that first map. Yes. I don't think anybody was expecting a 16-2 scoreline, but then the man that you were potentially alluding to.
Yeah, I mean, he nearly got one of the most crazy 1v4s
that would have been nuts.
On Train. The first three were ridiculous. This was a beautiful 3K from him to start things off. He got the first one into Magic's full blind, but it was not this one I had in mind. In fact, it was pretty much straight after that, Alu continued with his AWP.
The round he didn't win, but he definitely did have a good chance of doing so. He got 3 kills, well, 3.5. He legged the final player.
God, yeah.
I dare say they'd have run away with the half if he gets that kill as well. That was crazy.
It was Magic's. He gets tagged, but he did just enough to react and get that final kill. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a submission to our Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Power Plays. In fact, here it is. This second shot, so quick onto Chopper. And then the third lines up immediately after that. And then down to the 1v1, which I said we highlighted, it was Magic's who converted it. Sunny, however, did continue to do a little more than Inferno on Train. In fact, you were saying he did everything at times.
Yeah, this was a very important moment. The incendiary there, he reads it so well. His teammate threw that, so you know he had to focus on the sidewalk areas and, of course, above him. He handles both very well indeed. His inside hold was spectacular throughout that. Unfortunately, though, 0-2 was a little bit in vain towards the end, but still much more promising than Inferno, I suppose.
Yeah, just to note, just quickly with the stats overall, Ali was the only player to go positive here over both maps.
Yeah.
So for everybody else, a bit weak.
Let us know which one was your favorite with the hashtag GameFuelPowerPlays. You hit us up on Twitter, nice and easy, twitter.com/ESLCS, and you can see the options there. Just theoretically, boys, what's your highlight?
Probably the Alu round.
Yeah, that was
And
hot.
that's more for ENCE's storyline in the continuation of this tournament because Train was good. You know, I would like to see more of what we saw on Train, hopefully over other maps, hopefully a better Inferno showing in the future because now teams would just consider to pick that as a weakness, I would say.
I echo the sentiments of Mr. Virgil.
Yeah, Inferno, just a bit of a warning sign for ENCE. They're going to be probably in the Strat server tonight, or while they have another game to watch. Of course, they've got another two games to watch from the EPL first day. I do want to highlight, I don't know if we have a chance for you to do your telestration.
We do. Yes, we do.
I'd love to know. That's cool. That's good information.
I just jumped over here. I thought, you know, I'll take the reins right now, guys. Now, there's a fast out round here, and I want to kind of talk you through how chaotic Train can get. So we're just going to talk about the round standard play out here. We've got multiple members who are going to head through Connector, and we've got 2 going through the backtracks, like what we normally see with a setup on Train, one that Henry and I were probably running back in the old days. So we're going to flick the camera around here, and what I want to notice, the first thing I want to show you is this opening kill that iDisbalance is going to get. He's going to get a kill over towards Connector, but he's going to get blind in the process. And what does that mean for the round? So the kill goes down. Unfortunately for him, they've taken the territory. They haven't respected his AWP. They've respected their utility. That's going to open up the E-box line now, and that's going to put pressure on Sam Dayoung and iDisbalance, who are now on either side of the bomb train. But the most important player to focus on here will be Mia. He needs to win his duel. Now, he doesn't win his duel, unfortunately. We're going to see him pop up on the train. He gets taken down. And now look at how many different angles they have to defend this bomb train position from. E-box, the back of 5 lane. Obviously, we've got on top of the main train here. They can push on down. They can pick from this angle. There's so much pressure on these players. And now even Magic's in Ivy has pressure. He can't just focus on this choke point. He has to now worry about the push out into cutout to cover his teammates as well. So as we play this out, you're going to see he gets a little bit unlucky on this side of the map. He starts to the duel, loses to Alu, and at that point, the round is basically done and dusted, guys. So this is on Train, how quick it can snowball if you're the CT defenders and you lose one of those lanes. If you lose control, you don't have a contingency plan, you can be in trouble.
Yes, and indeed, there was a whole lot more trouble for the Team Spirit boys on the second map than there was the first. But still, regardless of all of those heroics, the Finns do fall, and we do see the first map, the first game, go the way of Team Spirit. A big win in the column, and it sounds like we have a chance for a winner's interview. Sumdai Young on the dog and bone.
Let's get him in.
Hello.
Sumdai Young, can you hear me?
Oh,
hang on a second.
We can see him.
I'm gonna dial in.
Quite anticlimactic when that happens.
Sumdai Young, you there? SDY? Oh, this old-fashioned technology. I'll try the headset instead.
Let me recalibrate it.
Yeah, you work on that.
You fiddle that?
Yeah, just... hello?
Well, Henry would have a bit more use with the phone than what...
My gran had one of these. It was always very fun.
Yeah?
No, he's not coming through. I think we might have to scrap this one.
Yeah, scrap it?
Or at least put it on the maybe pile.
Put it on the maybe pile?
We're going to move on.
Well, look at his stats.
That's something.
I can tell you what he would have said. You know, he would have said, "Oh, it's fantastic to be involved in the pro league. You know, we got the late call up. We're obviously here. We know the situation. But yeah, coming in against ENCE, they're a team who they used to be around our level. You know, last year, sure, they had that whole Katowice situation, but we knew we could beat them.
Yeah.
And we've been putting in the hard work. We've been grinding those hours, and we're feeling good, Alex.
Wow, thank you so much. That's Sumdai Young with a peculiar accent, actually. It doesn't sound like the accent I know him from.
Well, I had a good time with this game. Just to summarize it all, Alex, let's be honest here. And this is a game they probably had to win. They need to start finding some confidence here. Yes, Train was better, but that's not going to cut it at this level of competition. You can't just have close games and expect that to be enough. Yes, they came back to life. They had a good performance from Alu, but they should be beating teams like Team Spirit. They should at least be competitive on maps like Inferno.
Well, that's the question, right? Because we did look at this group and we said it's wide open in the sense of Astralis are first, but 2 teams make it out of this group. Who is going to be the second and third kind of contenders? ENCE are a name that we're hoping comes back to the level of Counter-Strike that we expect of them. However, this showing right here has started them off with a loss against one of the lower ranked teams. Even though Alu had a good performance, the team as a whole, if you look at both maps, didn't look great.
And what's kind of crazy is actually the distribution of how many of those were sniper kills. My goodness.
That's wild.
He only had 5 kills without his sniper rifle.
He didn't get a single AWP kill on Inferno, remember?
He made up for it.
So he made up for it on Train. That's to say the very least. They still didn't win, of course, but still, I'd be impressed with that. I'd be happy with my own performance.
Yeah, I think it's just the cool thing for ENCE right now is they get that day off tomorrow while we cover Group B, and then they get to come back on Wednesday. So hopefully recalibrated, ready to go.
Well, how long are we going to say that for, Chad?
I like time.
Any length, they're going to come back stronger.
Well, what do you reckon? Do you think ENCE should disband, Henry? Do you think they should make a roster? Write it down. I don't think you can write it down, but you might need to write something down.
Yeah.
You write something? All right.
I
want some neat and nasty handwriting here. Okay. They don't normally go together, but I want to see your absolute best work here. So what did I say? I said,
well, we've already got one on the board. It's Mistua is the new Rops.
Now, I'll defend that later. I'll defend that point at a later date. I'll make sure that I have an opportunity to do that. But look, the ENCE debate is because they peaked, right?
Yeah.
They did amazing and no one expected it. And it's because they're unable to return to any of that form that we're all asking questions about what's going on. And when you're removing an in-game leader, you automatically these days become a bit of a villain. Like FaZe did it. They became a little, maybe they didn't get it as harsh as what ENCE are getting it. What do we got here?
ENCE equals dead.
Okay, that's the Henry G submission. I'll go put this one over.
All right. Well, this was a somber moment, I guess.
So when ENCE win the Pro League, I'll pull this off the wall and I'll come back to that. There we go.
We got to get more colours of our post-its out soon. I think we do some colour coordination.
Oh, that's true. We've got a couple of options over here.
Yeah, there's pink and orange and a few bits and pieces going on through there. So,
when I mean that, I mean there's going to make a lineup change.
Okay. I didn't think you meant that the whole organisation was going to
put a lot of
shop.
pressure on the whole thing, saying you better put something great down. This is going to be boring. Okay.
And you wanted to do it, in as few words as possible. You went for 2. I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
ENCE equals dead.
And a symbol.
And everyone
knows what that means. So I think that's fine. Where are we going next?
I'm glad you asked. Well, of course, with this whole new format of just 3 people talking, I also hate that it's just you guys. Like, why am I never... I'm not hosting, guys. I'm just a part of the conversation.
Well, you are.
Yeah, well, okay, a little bit. But
you can be there if you like.
Oh, we actually have a shot where we're all talking. That's nice.
Back you get.
That's cool. I'll go hang out over there. I'll go do my little social distancing.
I think if we could sit down, that would be nice. I think it'd be more casual.
The problem is...
But I do disappear.
Yeah, you're a bit short.
Just the tips of our heads showing.
But what if I did this? How's that? Too much? split the difference.
Yeah, okay. I'd call what you're doing right now a power play, Hank. And I think it's time that we looked at the Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel power play results. That's me over here talking. But you can see over on the screens that we have the Game Fuel results for you in just a moment. That's right. We had 4 submissions. It was Chopper, of course, with his early 3K. We had Alu, in fact, performing with some of his stuff. In fact, talking the 3K, this is what we're talking about. We caught Alu out, trying to throw a fancy smoke towards the half wall and managed to find another 2 off the back of that. Outside of that, we had Alu, of course, with his fantastic 3K, a quick full flash catch onto Magix, and the reactions did not stop there. And that wasn't the only performance from Alu on this second map of the series. We also saw him dominate with some very fast reactions, nearly picking up a 1v4 that could have shaken Team Spirit to their core. And the final one was Sunny, which, of course, you guys have acknowledged was a real solid reaction and only possible because of his teammates' utility usage.
Absolutely true. Some great moments there. The first map wasn't amazing, but the second map delivered, had some great moments there. ENCE, very unfortunate considering the lead they have to give it up. But it will be Chopper to take it with the 3K B-side hold.
If I'm reading that correctly, he was in the green.
He took it.
Oh, there we go.
34%. You like to see that? What do we do now? Do we celebrate with a can?
No, we play it again and we talk about him a little bit more.
That's it?
Yeah, no, because...
I'm new around here.
Yeah, so this is the Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Power Play.
Say it again?
The Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Power Play.
Okay.
And this is the first one of the ESL Pro League Season 11. We'll be bringing you for one of these every match today.
I'm excited.
And on Thursday, we'll be back with more more power plays.
Do I have to write something down every time? Or
no, that's up to you. I think the pen, the ink, it's all
Your
it's optional.
contribution is kind of how you feel.
Okay, I feel like I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
I would echo your sentiment.
Excellent.
And I would also say that with this new format, of course, with all of us hanging out, talking about Counter-Strike, we do have your victor, of course. Your Game Fuel Power Play was Chopper in the Spirit versus ENCE matchup.
Congratulations, Chopper.
Chopper.
You do a clap every time?
I do.
I like the clapping. Hang on, let me put this cable down.
Okay, go.
Good job, Chopper.
Yeah, good job,
Yeah, we
Chopper.
should honor them. We should get pictures of them up in the studio somewhere.
Yeah, or we could draw pictures.
You want to draw a picture of
Draw
a
Chopper
helicopter?
from memory right now.
Okay. Start with the head, of course.
His hair, his eyes.
Human head.
Okay, I don't know if... I'm not sure if this will be a standard part of the show, but there is one thing that I do want to tell the viewers about here, Alex, because we missed it in the pre-show, and I know there's probably a lot of questions with the whole global epidemic that we have going on right now. We've made some format changes. Now, I know you're always interested in formats, Henry, so I want to run you through this. We have moved just back to European and North American Counter-Strike. Things have had to be split up due to this lack of travel, but luckily online Counter-Strike still exists. So as you can see on your screen here, you can see on the left-hand side where it says round robin groups, these are your 3 groups to kick off the European side of things. They will be played in a round robin format in a best of 3. So everybody will play against everybody. Now, what's important to note here is 2 teams from each group will progress into that stage 2 group, right? If you are the first place in each of your group, then you'll move straight on through to stage 2 groups. If you come second or third, you have to play in the play-ins that you can see right there, where the second place team will play against a third place team of another group. And then that's where we will see it go on through to the stage 2 group.
But I'm reading this correctly, right? Number 1 of the group is off to the final. That's the second stage 2 groups, right?
Yes, exactly. So if you're in stage 2 and you top that, you go straight into that best of 5 grand final. So there's a lot to play for in the stage 2 groups. And then if you come second and third, you play in the semi-final in a best of 3. The winner of that will go face the grand finalist, who will already be waiting for them. And, well, they're going to rumble in the jungle on all the maps.
I'm calling it now. I reckon FOR's Fnatic, FOR's Na'Vi, FOR's Complexity, FOR's North. I reckon they're beating 2 of those 4.
Really?
Yeah.
They've been a bit flat lately ever since Sexy Power had the injury on the wrist.
Oh, he's injured?
Yes.
Sexy Power?
Yeah, it's not looking good.
I didn't know that. Okay, I take it back. But we do, of course, have the European format. Now, with this adaptation we're having to make in the format rather, last minute, there's no surprises there. The North American format works a little differently.
Yes, so over there in North America, as you can see, there are only 5 teams. There will be a 6th announced as soon as we're able to get that sorted for everybody playing at home, but they will play initially in a round-robin group the same way. Best of 3, you play everybody, right? And then as you can see here, we're going to be having the upper bracket situation where if you play first in your group, you'll be going first or second, sorry, you'll be playing in the upper bracket. Winner of that will go straight through to the grand final. Then if you lose that game, you'll be playing against the winner of the 3rd place in the group. The 3rd or 4th place winner in the group in that loser matchup just ahead of it. Now, what I want to point out as well is the grand final for the North American side of things will be a best of 5.
A lot of moving parts here, Chad. I'm keeping up, though.
The team who comes through the upper bracket will have a 1 map advantage.
There we go. So they would have to win just 2, essentially.
Yes,
then,
in the best of 5 final.
That's cool. That's
Not bad,
interesting.
yeah.
There it is. So there are a lot of changes and compromises.
A lot
here,
of
but
changes.
it does make sense considering they're playing online. Just so you're not aware, you cannot play from North America to Europe. The ping just wouldn't
The
be
internet
acceptable.
is not that good yet.
And just as a surprise as well, Chopper did get his self-portrait made
look
there.
at that.
So there
Wow,
it
I
is.
didn't know you had an artistic eye.
well,
That's beautiful.
That was one word for it. And there it is. That's what every MVP is going to get one of those at the end of each game.
Okay.
So we're going to put that up on the wall. Alex, are you bringing the wall over? Or?
What, me? Yeah, I'm hanging out at my fancy wall. It's not as cool
Yeah.
as Chad's. I can't draw as much.
Yeah, but yours is a bigger screen.
There has been some drawing, though. Actually, do you want to throw me that Chopper picture? I'll throw him on the wall.
Let's get that out. That deserves to be in
I think
there,
so. It's
would
pretty
say.
fantastic.
Your arms aren't that long, Henry.
Yeah, I got it, bro. So I'll pop him over here. He can hang out with our... Actually, you know what? Screw device.
Playmaker.
Chopper was the playmaker.
Oh, poor device.
We'll come back to him.
Great
Okay.
picture.
We'll come back to him. That's really
Beautiful.
nice. So yes, as you can see, we were previously talking about things. But guys, I'm doing my slidey door
Yeah, sorry,
thing.
go ahead. We'll stop.
Okay.
We'll stop.
Key map. The reason we had Vertigo here, well, then we have some time to fill because there is no accelerated schedule, and so we just basically just act like clowns for your amusement while we talk about your favorite video game and ours as well.
And our favorite map, actually.
It is. Should we be honest about this?
We play this map when we play matchmaking or ESEA pugs at home a lot.
Yes.
Right? We like this map the most because other people don't like it.
Sure.
But it's also, you know, Vertiglobals and memes aside, this map has undergone a large amount of changes over the years.
I'm not going to lie, looking at the screen behind you, I
recognize
don't
this?
even remember
Bloody hell, look
that
at
iteration.
that.
Ouch, that's hurting my brain. What's happened?
So where that scaffolding is,
This
ladies
is the
and gentlemen,
first ever
and
one, right?
Well, so Vertigo's a map that's been around for quite some time. I'm not even... Rush, are you able to pipe in here?
Rush, come on, mate.
Come on,
All right,
mate.
it's me. What's going on?
When's this from, Rush?
This is the original 202013 one.
2013?
A long
Okay.
time ago.
I never played it, I don't
Can you
think.
show us more of the map,
Yeah,
Rush?
can you fly through a
sure.
bit? Oh, look at the site.
So this is the bomb
Oh, it's got the
site.
doorway.
Yes,
This is
oh,
more...
it's coming back to
Oh,
you now.
right, you could
Yeah.
jump
Coming
around
back
and
to me.
spawn, couldn't you?
Yes.
Like you could with the other bomb side. Like
You could do that
boosted
drop
around.
where you could drop off the
Yes.
side and go straight to the
I
lower
did-
second
I
floor.
did all that
this
stuff.
drop, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
the one.
remember this, okay. God, what a absolute shit show of a map it used to be.
That was
has changed
2013,
a lot,
you
hasn't it?
said. Do you have
Okay.
more versions in the can as well? Oh, look at that.
there's no B
Whoa.
steps.
Is that mid? That's mid. Ooh,
Yeah.
funky.
We should do this with every map. This is
I think we're going
so
to.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No
there's
mid drop. What does
there's
the spawn
drop.
look like? Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Rush, could you do the run boost on this version of the
Yeah,
map?
sure. I can give it a go.
So here we go. We jump.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a
Not
minute.
quite as good, but it is still possible, I suppose. The old version of Vertigo.
So a couple of things to note, I suppose. We are going to move forward through the different versions that we have available, but that bomb site right there has been moved much more forward. You'll see that would have been in their spawn before, right? So they've adjusted an absolute truckload on a map like this. But notice how that alley, Rush, can you go back to that alley there on the side? When we move forward into the next versions, you'll see this alley was removed. And also with the wooden wall, there was a gap placed in that as well. Now, they've kind of reverted those changes back to similar to these changes, right? Because now we have that alley position.
Yes.
Now the wall is completely closed off. So they've gone back to things that they already previously
Okay.
had in the map.
Let's address the elephant in the room here. This is an active map in the current pool of CSGO used at majors. It is still changing, not up until recently, but about what, once a month, once every other month? Like, it's kind of crazy, like how much the map has changed and still developing, and it's in the major cycle, the map pool we use every single day. Sure, it's becoming more and more of a stable map. We're enjoying watching it as time goes on.
Sure.
But what a crazy decision that is generally, to throw in a map that's, by your own acknowledgement, not complete and needs adjustment, to throw it into the pool and just see how it goes.
I want to say something because I think that we have been relatively lucky in recent years with what maps have come in and out.
Yeah.
Because we've had remakes of maps that we were already, used
Familiar
to.
with.
But Vertigo coming in was very jarring because it's like when Cobble and Overpass came in, right? Those were maps which people had never played before, and they were adjusted and adapted a lot while in competitive play. Think about the major that Cobble was played at and the randomizer, and the map just kept cropping up.
I
And
missed the randomizer.
But I hated the randomizer, Henry.
Could you even say that with a straight face?
A bit of fun just before the game goes live. A random map.
So let-
always cobblestones.
Do you want to know how bad it was for underdog teams at the majors back then?
Go
so
on.
they would get randomized where the other team would get the last ban. So they would be the ones getting to decide what the pool of 3 maps was, right? So you're the underdog. You don't even get like much of a say.
Why was it always cobblestone?
Just the randomizer kept pulling it up.
Every
Not only that, you never...
Randomizer?
No matter what happened, the highest seed always got to pick the side. So not only was the map random, the highest seed always got to pick
So
the
that
side.
was a CT side on cobble.
Dude, I was playing T side of every game at a major.
Yeah.
So it sucked.
You would have been the best player.
I did my best, Henry.
You would have been the best. You let down by the randomizer.
You know what happens.
I think we should do a replay of the game.
2014. Let's go back.
Again. Rewind.
All right,
Rewind,
can we
do it
see the
again.
next version, Alex? You got that power?
Yeah, of course I do.
got?
Yeah, I think it's essentially like it's a hand gesture kind of locked system now. ESL,
Okay.
they've got this new tech. So what I have to do
is pray?
So I do this.
Okay.
And then I do this.
Yeah.
Then this.
Okay.
And then you kind of do that.
Okay.
And then you do this.
Oh, he's got
And
tricks.
you go like this, and you say, here's the church, here's the steeple, open the doors, there's the people, let's load in to Vertigo.
It worked.
I think.
Which Vertigo is this, Alex?
Great question, I'll tell you actually. With Rushley's help, that's right.
This is the latest version, just
This
so
is the
direct
latest- a direct
comparison from the
comparison.
old to the new.
So let's have a look around then. Of course, we had the B steps, a key choke point on the map.
wasn't even there at all before.
It wasn't there at all, but a very common point of contention at this point. You can either rush it, you'll often see an incendiary thrown at the very start. It's the anchor position, like
Yeah.
B bomb set is in almost every map in CSGO right now. T-Spawn with the famous run boost. Now, Chad, is the run boost overhyped? Does it just look cool? Is it actually that useful?
If Rush ever uses the run boost in one of our pugs again, I'm leaving
It works.
immediately.
That's all I'm going to say. It
Okay.
does, you know,
You've never made it work,
powerful.
Rush. You've made
what-
the
I died to it often as a solo B player.
Okay, so it can be powerful.
I've seen it in action.
I don't play B, so I've never really faced it or challenged it myself. So I've only seen players find the odd kill once a game.
Or my name in the feed from a Deagle saying B's open.
And it's like, oh, one B, guys.
Yeah.
Rush, can you show us middle? Because I think this is probably the more recent, especially people playing Counter-Strike more recently will know that there was once the squeaky door right where he's looking.
I hate the fact the squeaky door's gone.
You would like to see open up more mid splits.
I love the mid splits. That was the game was all about. You had the lurk player who's holding middle. That was your kind of your role within the default. Going towards the squeaky door, smoking it off. It was just a point of access. It was very difficult to cover on the CT side. You had to be aware of it.
Yep.
You can still split towards B, but going through CT spawn,
It's crazy.
It's a nightmare. There's like 20 different spots that are OP as hell for the CT side, and it's very difficult to get through. I like this version of the map. I don't love it. I used to, like 2 versions ago, I think was the best version we had. This little corridor on your left, Rush, what do you even call this right now? I just call it this connector sort of thing.
Yeah, I call that connector.
Connector, like, I don't love this sort of
backhole
setup. Yeah, I think it's messy. I think it makes things very confusing in terms of fights around here.
How do you find the A, though? Because I know there was a period of time, right, especially Astralis really brought this in, where we had individuals throwing a smoke on the run from the elevator room, and then they were dropping through the hole that was in the wall, and they were pushing down and fighting the ramp. Now, there's obviously new ways to do that. You could go alley, you can pick down. But do we like the way it's playing now, or how it was playing before?
Oh, it's such a difficult question because I still feel like it's evolving. I feel
Yes,
like
definitely.
At this stage, we're seeing a very interesting version of the map with the A-ramp smokes coming on both sides. You're seeing even T's throw smokes at the A-ramp at the start just to block CT vision now, which is an interesting dynamic. Before, it was just a deep CT smoke. Everyone would wait. But now the T's can get there so quickly towards that corner that you have to maybe start taking vision away, counteracting Molotovs and incendiaries. Like, this part of the map is still the most infamous for sure. But we're seeing the way it's kind of approached. It's a different every single tournament. I'm not even exaggerating that.
Sure.
It feels like every tournament there's a new smoke or a new execution.
We saw
or
the
a new
retake
way.
smokes from NIP recently,
Exactly,
right? On the CT side. So, yeah, and I think that's why I enjoy this map the most at the moment in the competitive map pool. And the reason for that is the innovation, right? Is the ability for people who are Counter-Strike minds to go, this is the way that we think is successful to approach a map.
Along with Overpass, is this the only map in the pool that's not an original Counter-Strike map?
Well, Vertigo, I suppose it depends on how with the lineage you want to go.
Sure, I guess a competitive
Yes,
sense,
but in a
yes.
competitive sense, then, Mirage was obviously... Mirage wouldn't be an original because it was from Strike.
Yeah, the layout was there, though, right?
It's been there for years.
But yeah, this is like one of the new school maps of CS. We're up there with Overpass, and it's very different, but I feel like people have got used to it at this point.
I do think that it's an underappreciated side of it is that it is so different. You are seeing exchanges you have never seen before. I mean, I'm actually kind of miffed we didn't get to show the version where there was that elevator drop down in mid. Do you remember that ridiculous turn of events where suddenly if you were a CT side and you push mid aggressive, you could be flanking ramp at a pace ridiculous. It feels fast now when they go down ladder and round and clear T spawn.
Yeah.
But it was even quicker before. You could skip that whole step.
It did just come up in the ticker saying, if you're watching in Twitch chat right now, tell your mum that you love her. Now, Chad, I know you're a bit advocate for that. You'd like to tell your mum that you love her.
I think it's
Is it
important.
Mother's Day today or something?
I
or?
don't think so.
No?
Good.
Maybe some good. That's just a nice thing to put in the ticker.
Yeah, no,
just
I
to
think
make sure they say, I love you. every
Spread
now
some
and then.
love.
Yeah.
Spread some love.
It is Mother's Day in the UK coming up on the 22nd of April.
Good
so
to know. Write that
I've
down.
already pre-ordered my present, Alex, so I'm already one step ahead.
22nd.
I'm well ahead of the game. Just a little top tip for you there.
Thank you. I've got a top tip for you guys because after we've taken a look at the most recent version of Vertigo and, of course, the very first one, why don't we watch some world-class Counter-Strike on it?
Wow.
It was a quarter-final game between Astralis and Liquid. Let's remind ourselves how that one looked.
The battle started off one side.
With some phenomenal
Decided in
plays.
favor of Astralis, but once the second half kicked off, Team Liquid pulled ahead with a destructive T side.
Device gets a second one. They could do it already. And Device, he misses a shot, but he's going to stick it. He's going to stick the defuse, and that's got him in the smoke.
The North Americans took down their arch nemesis Astralis, cementing their #1 position for the time being, while Astralis were sent home trophyless.
Yeah, that's the power of Vertigo, of course. When you have such a nemesis or such an adversary such as Astralis, any advantage such as an unknown territory like Vertigo was one of the ones that ensured the victory.
And that is something which I think people need to look at in Counter-Strike as a big part of who the best team in the world is, right? Is who is going to start approaching these maps and bringing it into their map pool early enough, because there aren't too many teams with a competent 7-map pool, but when a new map comes in, it can shift the balance. Because if your permaban goes out, you have an opportunity to bring a new map in if you have another weak link. And it was great for Astralis that their permaban went out because they were struggling on Mirage, right? So that means, well, we can dump Mirage now. We can focus on this new map, which we know a lot of the top dogs will stay away from because they're still trying to fix Nuke, they're still trying to fix Inferno. And then for Astralis, in this situation against Liquid, obviously that game, when those two teams playing each other is always quite exciting.
Yep.
But the mind games on different levels and then on a newer map as well, you know, those are things that will be remembered for a long time.
No, absolutely. We are going to continue this conversation, boys, as we get closer and closer to our second game. I never even told you what it was, by the way. If you did miss the start of the show, Vitality versus Godsent. It's Vitality with the FPL star Mistua, who made a YouTube video and is now wearing a Vitality jersey, salary, all that good stuff, up against Godsent, the rejects who have banded together and have climbed their way to Season 11 of the Pro League. We are going to take a quick one and we'll continue to break things down and continue to talk about Vertigo a little more when we come back.
Rising out the ashes, coming from the ether. All I hear is static. Breathe a little deeper. Fallen, broken, a million light years away from home. My eyes opened, and now I've come to claim life. Never let it go. These wings carry me. Live this fantasy. Running through the fire, gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah, gonna let it burn. Running through the fire, gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah, gonna let it burn. Gonna let it burn.
because Henry is right, because a mouse pad will wear down and it will have a different feel. The solution to that is I started changing my mouse pad every 3 months.
By changing it around?
No.
Or
I would have a brand
new
new mouse pad every 3 months, right? That meant that I had to have 4 mouse pads a year, right? So
the math checks out.
It does check out.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it would keep the pad to a consistency where I didn't have to adjust my sensitivity, because I'm sure you would realize the longer you'd play with that same mouse pad, you'd have to start upping your sense.
Well, we have a mouse pad here. We can maybe demonstrate how that would even work.
Let me move a few bits.
So
and
this
pieces.
is your standard gaming mouse pad, Alex.
Right.
So this would be considered medium to large. It's not the biggest you can find. I actually use a desk mouse pad at home.
Very cool.
Have you seen that before?
I have. It's all over.
He sits next to you at home. What do you mean?
I've seen it flopping around.
We live with each other.
Not everyone might not have a mouse pad. We're making sure that everyone's on board and part of the broadcast. It's an inclusive show. I want to make sure that everyone's understanding what's going on. This is a mouse pad. The mouse will sit on
wireless.
That, and wireless technology allows you to do the whole thing. So I focus on this area here. I would like to wear it down to an appropriate level and then have my best fragging ability.
Okay, so it's about
Thank
the
you, Chad.
warming the mouse pad up. We were previously, if you have been joining us for the majority of the show, talking about Vertigo. Not only is it a map we play a lot, but it's also a map that we don't think has been talked about enough. Some teams, are only just starting to enter the realms of Vertigo and developing their game. And we did a little comparison. I think we can continue to run down that vein as well, just to see, Vertigo has been a map that continues to change. One of Henry's critiques is that it's changing while in the active map pool, which is a totally justified feedback. The argument, however, that before the break was that goddamn door
and the air conditioners. Apparently, I'm glad they turned those off. Jeez. No, I did like the door, but some of these adjustments, I can see that this gap here was what we were alluding to. I liked it because what it meant was the CTs could fight initially, and if you got them stuck in forklift room, then you could play transitionally. Now it just plays, instead of the fight so deep on the ramp, the fight is a little bit further up, so the Ts have to push up the ramp and get caught in limbo if they want to make that adjustment. So I think the fight at that point plays better now. I'm so happy that that bloody forklift is gone.
This transitional room in elevator towards the sniper side